Can you guys explain one thing to me?
No.
As a society, why have we decided that Range Rovers are
Cool.
luxurious cars? Because I'm gonna give this disclaimer right off the bat. I've never been in a Range Rover, but I've seen many of them, and I've seen the inside of them. And you're admiring yourself. While
I'm just making sure my hat's not lopsided.
This is the Range Rover you're talking about?
That looks very nice, actually.
It looks nice, but its quality, in my estimation, is similar to that of an Acura, probably less than that of a Lexus. So why have we propped up the Range Rover as this pinnacle of car?
I don't know.
Pinnacle SUV kind of thing.
I don't know anything about it, but I know that many people do consider it a high-end SUV and like really good. So I just assume that people put it on that pedestal for a reason. I don't know what that reason is, but like I just kind of assume that if it's that highly regarded, there must be something about it, you know. But I don't know what that is.
Do you think the same thing about? Sorry, there's so much tapioca coming up.
Yeah.
I'm not a car person. But I think the disclaimer is here that it's a luxurious SUV.
Luxurious.
And I have to say, how many people are really going out looking for SUVs?
Like
you stupid?
Like a shit ton of people.
As like a dream car, really?
I want my dream car to be a SUV.
Really?
There are people who love
If you could have like one fancy, like stupidly expensive car, you're going like with this?
Because I don't want.
But that's not stupidly expensive, by the way.
But I like SUVs because I feel like I like being higher up. It feels more comfortable for me. I feel like I like the view better higher up. And I like the look of a lot of SUVs.
SUVs are in, by the way.
I know.
Porsche has their SUV. Lamborghini has made their SUV, the Urus.
I think, yeah. I think in terms of like functionality and like having a car that I use all the time that is still like awesome to me, it would be like a high-end SUV, definitely. Because I don't like the feeling of being super low to the ground. Sports cars and that sort of shit's stupid to me because it's like two-door. It's not really like, I don't know. I don't feel like I'd be, excited to use it every day. I'd be like, oh, 2 doors and it's like tiny and it's low to the ground.
Yeah, that's not an unpopular opinion, but
it's not. But I just don't like the idea of it that much. I don't care. Like the flashiness of it is, I guess, why people do it most times, and it's like the status symbol. But to me, it's like I don't think I'd get much use out of it. I'd be like, I feel too low to the ground. I feel like it's too flashy for no reason. I just want something like like super nice and classy and like.
This guy, we were at the gym one of these days, and we're driving away from the gym. We're going home. And he sees a Porsche, and he turns to me. He's like, "Bro, would you really want that as your everyday car?" And I go, "Yeah,
no.
Yeah,
let me clarify.
It was this nice.
What did it look like? Tell me
Porsche.
what
it
it
was
looked
like cream color with like a darker
Matty,
color strip.
It was literally like one. I don't know what the main tone was, but it's two. It was
cream.
So it was like some color, and then there was like a fucking like racing car strip.
No, that's not a race car strip.
No,
bro.
that's what
not all strips are race car.
No, but that's what that middle strip is called generally. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. It just had a strip on it. And it was like a kind of like it was like a racing sports looking car, and I was like, yeah, and I was like, to me, I wouldn't. Again, I don't feel like I'd use it every day. I wouldn't feel like it's a good everyday like going to my job car.
Let's just say it's summer though. Like I know we're in Canada, so obviously not every day in Canada.
If I'm getting a fancy, stupid, expensive
but if
car,
it's your only car, though, is what I'm saying.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying more like if I was ever gonna get like indulge and get like and have the money and get a fancy car, I'm not worried about getting like a practical everyday kind of.
Yeah, that's
thing.
not a controversial opinion. Every single person in the world would agree with you. But I'm saying like
but that's what I'm saying.
I had to
Then
pick
why
one,
the SUV?
I'm just saying if I had to pick one, that's what I was thinking. Like what's gonna be my daily driver? That's what I'm talking about. In terms of like if I can have my SUV that's nice and is like my everyday car, and then have like a side crazy sports car,
a side piece, if you will.
Sure. Yeah, obviously I'd rather have that than just the SUV. Yeah, I'd like to have another option that's cool and like for vacation or having a good time. But to me, it's like if I'm picking one car for the rest of my life, it's going to be an SUV for sure. Just for the comfort and for I like the look a lot. So
back to the whole Range Rover thing and what you were saying about I'm just assuming that it's good for a reason.
I'm just saying that
do you apply that argument to like other things? Like for example, let's go with Nike as a brand.
Sure.
It's, I guess, one of the more popular sports brands.
Definitely.
Do you just assume that people like it? Like it's good for a reason? Like I don't really understand the logic, to be honest with you.
That's probably popular for a reason. Yeah, I use that logic. Yeah. Like it's probably not popular because there's probably like something good about it. That's why it's popular.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. The way I see it is that it's like, it's just the name. Like Nike's primarily popular because of the brand around it.
Sure.
Whereas I feel like you were like trying to point out as like at a characteristic, like it's probably popular for a reason. Like there's some characteristic about it that makes it unique, special compared to others. Is that what you were trying to say?
For Range Rover, I'm not saying that there's something that's unique about it. I'm just saying that there's something good enough about it that a lot of people love it and consider it one of the best SUVs. I'm just saying, like, I don't know anything
Indulge
about
me. Speculate. What could it be?
I have no idea. I'm not a car person, so I don't know. All I know is that, like, I use the same logic as well for, like, a movie or a television series. If everybody's raving about a show, I'm like, there's probably something good, really good about that show, or it's probably, like, an actually pretty good show. If everybody is like, it's an incredible show.
Yeah.
That being said, there are popular things that I do not like, but generally I kind of give it the benefit of the doubt that, like, I'm sure there's something valuable about this sort of thing because everyone's talking about it. Yeah.
Okay. I have no other thoughts on this.
Okay. Are we ending it?
I'm just going to toss out, since we're all drinking these bubble teas.
I threw mine out. I was finished.
One thing, even though I'm coming around on bubble teas, one thing they got to get a handle on is the ratio of tapioca to, like, drink.
What do you mean?
Ask for less.
Less tapioca,
you had too
because
much?
my problem is I get to the end of the drink and then I've just got this like clump of tapioca at the bottom.
But that must mean that you're drinking like some gulps without any tapioca.
Also, you can ask for less, so you won't end up with that.
If you take like, if every sip has a little bit of some balls in there, you'll be fine. But I think if you take big gulps without anything, then it'll be left over.
I
And
do
at the
like
same
a
time,
big
if
gulp.
if you want sips without it, and you also don't want that left over, then again, get less.
So I know Patrick hasn't heard of this. I think I told Patrick about it, but have you heard of that new A24 movie? The one with Nicolas Cage? It's called, what's it called? Dream something. I don't know what it was called, but it's like...
Did they just put out a trailer
Yes.
like a day or two ago?
Yeah.
I saw the thumbnail.
So it's really cool. It's about this, I guess, like university professor who starts realizing that like people that he doesn't know are dreaming about him. Like they'll have a dream and then he's just like randomly in the dream doing something, like walking around in the background or attacking them or like doing something. And then he'll be like walking around in public and people will be like, dude, you were in my dream last night. And then people keep telling him that. And so the whole idea is that it's like this weird psychological black comedy of this guy who is like randomly appearing in people's dreams and he's not sure why. You know, it's
I'm
pretty cool.
interested. Nick
Yeah.
Cage doing an A24.
Yeah, and all the
Interesting.
different, like, you know how they just show like in the preview like different quotes from reviewers and
Yeah.
it'll be like, oh, like Nicolas Cage is like incredible in this movie. He's like, people are saying he's like really good in the movie, and I'm happy for him because he had like a period of like not really doing much.
Yeah, now he's been back for like a couple years.
Yeah, it's like a Brendan Fraser type story
Yes.
of like coming back.
Shout out Nick Cage.
Who, before we leave this cold open, who got you that hat?
Malcolm got me that hat. I'm sorry, Maddie got me that
Malcolm
hat.
got you the Cali
I'm
hat?
sorry, Maddie got me the hat. Malcolm got me the blue hat, the navy blue hat, which I
This
don't
is
like
true.
as much as this one.
Wow.
Did you have did you immediately cringe? When you said Malcolm?
There's a small part of me that was like, is he gonna correct it? Well, speaking of movies, I'll drag this cold open out a little longer. Are you done? Recently, aka a couple days ago, finally went and saw a little movie called Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah.
And I know this is going to be incredibly late to the party.
Old news.
And old news. It's old news as we sit here, but by the time this comes out, it'll be even older news. So I understand that we're late to the party. But I could not disagree more with Patrick's assessment last week, so I had to just quickly air that out.
Now tell me why you disagree with my assessment.
I think,
You're not close enough to the mic, not even close.
Tell me why you disagree with my assessment.
other than Interstellar and The Dark Knight, I think it's my favorite Nolan thing, other than
Wow.
those two. So it's like easily top three.
Inception isn't in there for you?
No, because I love Inception, but
I
like
don't.
it's slightly lower. Same with like Tenet, which was really cool, but
Now, you
also
didn't
like
describe
slightly lower.
why you disagree with me.
I think
You just said a statement.
Oppenheimer, first of all, wonderfully directed. The cast is insane, and every single person in it, no matter how big or small their role is perfect.
Can I just sort of say something before you go on? Because I
Please.
feel like what you're about to say is about to make it. People are gonna seem like I don't think all those things. Like I think it's definitely the first half of the movie is amazing. First, like maybe even
The first 2 hours.
the
Your
first 2
problem is
hours,
the
yeah.
last hour.
the last little bit. Yeah, the last little bit. It like the first part's amazing. Everything Matthew's saying is correct. Go on.
What was wrong with the last little bit?
But you haven't watched it. You want us to spoil it?
I don't really care about
Basic
it, to be honest.
idea is that the first 2 hours of the movie is kind of the movie jumps all over the place timeline wise, but I think the way they like do it in terms of like how characters look physically and the changes from like when the movie's in color to when it's in black and white and all that shit, and like little lines of dialogue they do that like give you an idea of when things are happening, I think makes it work. But it's definitely a movie that demands you to like, it's not the kind of movie where you like look at your phone, like, or you will potentially get lost on things. But the first 2 hours is largely the lead up to them like creating, testing, and then using the atomic bomb. And the last hour after that is more so about like
It's politics.
the politics of it and sort of like the fallout of it, no pun intended, and like how Oppenheimer was after it, and then sort of like him and Robert Downey Jr.'s character, who's by the way fantastic, their whole like relationship and dynamic after it. So it's sort of like is still about the same thing, but it shifts slightly in what it's like talking about or whatever. I guess
here's where we diverge. I feel the movie fails to elicit any sort of, I guess, feeling towards Robert Downey Jr.'s character on the audience's part. I feel like they get to the end, and then it's like all about him in this like hearing to become part of the cabinet of the United States of America, and it's like we never really like explored him that much. Like I don't care what happens to him. I don't care if he gets in or out of the cabinet, kind of thing. So that's why I was largely not I guess on board the last hour. And also the whole idea of them bringing Oppenheimer through this sort of test or this trial to see if he's going to pass the clearance or get his clearance back. Am I right? Is it
like
pass
the
the clearance
security clearance?
Yeah, like get the security clearance that he had previously. It just was all like, again, the tension wasn't that high. Like, because at that point, I had no idea where the movie was going. I was like, how are they going to end this? Like, why are we going through this sort of side story at the end of the movie? Like this whole other narrative at the end of the movie, kind of.
And I feel like it would make no sense if they did the movie without talking about the fallout afterwards. Like that you would have to, you know.
But I feel like Maddie, that's a mischaracterization from Maddie. It's not really talking about the, like it is talking about the fallout, but
it's also about him and like how he was perceived like by the public and all this stuff. But then it is also about like his immense guilt. Yeah. Afterwards.
See, if they explored that more, they tried exploring it through the trial, but like I feel like it just wasn't. In my opinion, it just wasn't it. But I like the part where the president says, "Don't invite that." What do you call him?
Crybaby.
That crybaby. Don't bring that crybaby back in.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just think on almost every single front, it's like genuinely spectacular. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm also a history dork, so like it had me hooked on that angle. But there's also so much that I didn't know that was like interesting to learn about. But I found it to be so not like entertaining is the wrong word, but just like engrossing and riveting and all this shit. And also very haunting and scary. And like it's a very morally gray movie because they get into the, decades long debate of like, should we have built the atomic bomb? Should we have used the atomic bomb? Like, and all that kind of stuff. And it doesn't necessarily, it's not the kind of movie that like picks a side one way or the other. It is more just like,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. And there's kind of like convincing arguments for both sides of whether or not they should have used it and whatever. Like, it's very morally gray. And I just think, again, very like depressing and kind of like haunting. And I think the final, no spoilers, but the final like scene of the movie, I think is a very like, I thought that was a very satisfying kind of ending and resolution and like gut punch and all that kind of thing. Yeah. So anyways, go out and fucking watch Oppenheimer.
Mine was 6.9. What's your rating?
I'm going like easily 8 or 9.
Go out and watch Oppenheimer. They've all watched Oppenheimer at this point.
You've all watched Oppenheimer at this point, and if you haven't, then I guess you don't really care all that much about Oppenheimer. Yeah, I don't know, easy 8 or 9.
Pick one.
I'll say 9.
Okay. Just because you want to be further from my score?
No, I just
Because
because it's
if you're
up there.
the closer you are to my score, the more reasonable my score becomes.
No, because it's up there for me with Interstellar and Dark Knight,
You know-
which I would also paint in that category.
I don't know. It's weird. I don't hate Christopher Nolan movies, but for some reason I just don't get it. I just don't get the appeal really. Like every one I've watched like has like cool parts of it, some interesting themes, but at the end of the day I was like, I didn't love that movie. I didn't think it told like a really interesting, awesome story. I thought it had like cool elements or whatever. Like Interstellar has really cool elements. Like visually it's awesome. The music's awesome.
You don't think Interstellar tells a really cool, awesome story?
I just think it tells a story that like I don't like the whole like mystical aspect of it. That felt very like whimsical and more like all about kind of like almost like magic. That like
Was it
you know,
really mystical or like really high, like
It was like no, but like
high
there's
order science in a way?
science. No, there was a part where he like his daughter felt him floating in this like space or
Yeah,
whatever.
because he was in wasn't it like he was in a space that was like independent of like time?
No,
yeah,
but
it's like
there's
a,
like
I don't know, like a liminal space.
yeah, but
kind of
there's
thing.
literally a line about how like she felt him because of like love or whatever, and I don't know. The point is, I don't love his movies, even like The Dark Knight, which has nothing to do with science or technology
Yeah.
or sci-fi. Like, I just thought
You're
it was
about
like
to say something really unpopular. Go on.
I was about to say like for me, I haven't watched the movie in a long time, but last time I remember I was like, that's a good movie. But like I've never agreed with people being like he makes masterpieces. His movies are unbelievably incredible. Like I can't get on that page for some reason.
You're allowed to be wrong. It's okay.
And like, but there's like other movies that I watch, and I just like love them from start to finish. And his movies never really like pull me in that way. I don't know. It's interesting.
What are you looking at?
I'm just looking at you giving Mark a
Okay, let's cut out.
shake.
At this point, I would like the editing to cut us out of this.
Welcome back to episode 28, coming up on 30, of Wildly Adequate, the show about anything, everything,
actually put something
and
on my shirt?
usually nothing. I am 1/3 of your hosting crew. Mr. Malcolm is not here today. Mr. Matthew Urso is me. I don't know why I did it in that order. I am joined by, as always,
Oh, Mark.
And Patrick.
decided to mix up the order there for some
Yeah,
reason.
he was thinking of his name for a second. And
Damn, what's my name?
mhm.
Quick.
So I'm starting today, and we're just going to jump right into it. So I am stealing this topic from another podcast called Constellation, which has like the same
Constellation?
constellation.
Constipation.
Constellation?
Yes, constellation.
Oh, like a constellation.
Yes.
Okay.
Constipation.
Constipation, which has the same shout out Constellation and shout out Last Stand for your PlayStation podcast.
Condensation?
Condensation. Because they have their
You stop.
podcast. It's like the same setup as ours, of like different topics and shit. And they did an American version of this. And I like the idea so much, I'm stealing it and doing a Canadian version. Gentlemen,
So in other words, a lesser version. Go on.
yes. Gentlemen, both of you are foreigners, am I correct?
What?
In
What does that even mean?
Like not born in this country.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, but yeah, okay. Like
But you both grew up here.
Yes.
Yeah, for like 99.9%.
Exactly. So for all intents and purposes, you're basically Canadian. However, when you came to this country, did you, as babies, have to do a Canadian citizenship test?
Yes.
No.
As a baby.
No,
as
not
a baby.
Not as a baby.
All right.
When like I was in grade.
Name the different parts of the government. Google
Wait, did I do
Gaga.
a test? I got my citizenship when I was in grade 3 or something, or like grade 2, something
What?
like that.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
Uh,
you didn't have a citizenship when you came here, you fool.
No, I know, but like I don't remember having to be tested on anything.
I don't specifically remember this test.
We were
but-
children. I don't think we were tested
Yeah,
on
I
anything.
think we just got it, but our
course.
parents did the test though, kind of thing. right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, they would have had to
Okay.
do it or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to take a Canadian citizenship test, and we're going to see if you guys pass
Sorry.
and are allowed to stay in this country.
I'm not gonna pass. I'm just saying it from the beginning.
So we are going to do 20 multiple choice questions.
Oh, multiple choice.
And then at the end, what we'll do is you guys are going to trade tests and you'll grade each other. I am not going to tell you how many you need to get correct in order to pass, in quotes, because I don't want you to start doing the mental gymnastics. I'd rather keep you guessing. All right? So is everybody ready? All you need to do...
Should I number them here?
Yeah, is just write like the 1 to 20 going down your paper, and then for each one, just A, B, C, D,
So the
one.
citizenship, the citizens citizenship test is only 20 questions?
No, I believe what it is it's 100 questions, or it might be a little more. But I think what they do is I think they take a chunk of those questions, and then you have to meet a certain percentage. So it's not like they would test you on like 120, and you have to get 100 right, for example. They might take like 30 or 40 of those questions just randomly, and then you'd have to get out of that correct, as far as I understand. I don't know. I was born here. Alrighty. Are we ready to go, gentlemen?
Sure.
Here we go.
Question 1. Canada has how many provinces? Is it A, 13, B, 10, C, 3, or D, 5?
You're so wacky.
How many
Next, Matt.
provinces?
Next question.
Wait. What was it? A was what?
A is 13, B is 10, C is 3, and D is 5. How many provinces?
Wait, B is 10?
Yeah. Patrick, have you
I'm
answered?
good. Yeah, I've been answered.
Alrighty. Question 2. Give the first line of Canada's national anthem. Is it A, O Canada, our home and native land? B, O Canada, our province and native land? C, O Canada, from far and wide, O Canada? Or D, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee?
Okay.
Okay.
The first line.
Yes, first line.
Okay, I think we're both good.
Okay.
They only made us sing that every single day in elementary
Yeah.
and high school.
Number 3. How is a cabinet minister chosen?
Okay.
A, by the king. B, by the voters. C, by other cabinet ministers. Or D, by the prime minister.
Okay.
How is a cabinet minister chosen? We move on to number 4. In Canada's justice system, what does presumption of innocence mean? A, everyone is guilty until proven innocent. B, guilt is decided by public opinion.
God.
C, innocence is decided by public opinion. Or D, everyone is innocent until proven guilty.
Can you read the first line?
The question?
Yeah. Like what's it called?
Canada's-
Like with a quote.
Presumption of innocence. What does that mean?
Okay.
Are you Patrick? You're good. Okay. Number 5. In which region do more than half the people in Canada live? A, Central Canada. B, the prairies. C, Atlantic Canada. Or D, Northern Canada. So Northern Canada, think of more the territories. Atlantic, think the East
What was
Coast.
A?
Prairies, think the kind of... A is Central Canada.
And B was territories. Okay.
Prairies.
Prairies.
Number 6. On what date did Nunavut become a
Are
territory?
you kidding me?
July 1st, 1867.
Sure.
For A. B, April 1st, 1999. C, June 24th, 1995. Or D, March 31st, 1949.
Okay. I'm good.
Mark is good.
What are you thinking
Patrick?
about? What are you thinking about as if it's like something that you could figure out?
Somebody make my choice, bro. I didn't say anything when you thought for like 10 minutes about how many
Yeah,
fucking
because-
provinces we have.
I mean, I knew it was either 13 or 10. I'm not going to be like, oh, was it 3?
Patrick, are you ready?
Yeah.
Number 7. What are the 3 levels of government in Canada? Is it A, federal, provincial and territorial, and municipal? B, federal, provincial, and city? C, federal, territorial, and provincial? Or D, federal, state, and local?
Yeah, you're going to have to say A again.
Yeah, please.
Federal, provincial, municipal.
Okay, B.
Federal, provincial, and city.
C.
City.
Federal, territorial, and provincial.
Okay, I don't need to hear D again, by
Yeah,
the way.
okay.
Answering for number 7.
Municipal.
We have to get
Can't
20 out of
see.
20 to be citizens. So then none of it question and screwed us.
Okay.
Number 8. What are the 3 main groups of Aboriginal peoples? By the way, I got this like off the, like,
Government of Canada website?
yeah, like the more official shit, just so you don't think I'm like pulling any
Government of
tomfoolery.
Canada website?
I don't know.
BuzzFeed.
It wasn't like I
More
don't know if
official
it's
shit. He didn't say yes.
direct. I don't know if it's directly the Canadian government website, but it's like because
A Reddit page that said it was the
no,
Canadian-
because I don't think they just like publish. Hey, here's what the test and all the answers are on the fucking website. Anyways, what are the three main groups of Aboriginal peoples? A, First Nations, Métis, and Inuit. B, Acadians, Métis, and Inuit. C, United Empire Loyalists, Métis, and Inuit. Or D, Inuit, Métis, and Acadians.
What was B?
Acadians, Métis, and Inuit.
What?
Isn't that the same thing?
So the order matters. The order matters. It looks like.
Who knows?
And what was A?
First Nations, Métis, and Inuit.
And C? What was C?
United Empire
No,
Loyalists.
not that one, not that one.
Métis, and Inuit.
And D was just the second one, but flipped.
Yes.
Choose wisely.
Dude, I don't even know. Sure, I'm gonna go with that one. Wait,
Go with C.
one second. Okay.
He's thinking. Number 9. What are the two official languages of Canada? Is it A, English and Métis? B, I don't even know how to pronounce that, and French? C, English and French? Or D, English and the one I don't know how to pronounce?
Say it. Try. Try and pronounce it.
Inuktitut?
No.
Racist.
Inuktitut.
Mm.
Oh, all right, here we go. Number 10. Coming up on the halfway point. What is a francophone? A person who speaks English as their first language.
Yep.
B, a smartphone designed by the Canadian company RIM. C, a person who speaks French as their first language. D, the first phone in Canada invented by Alexander Graham Bell.
D.
Patrick says a confident D. Are we good here?
Hilarious.
All right, 11. What is the highest military honor a Canadian can receive? A, the Purple Cross. B, the Badge of Courage. C, the Order of Merit. Or D, the Victoria Cross.
It could be any one of these. It could literally be any one of these.
A lot of these are very trivial, like random facts. You know.
Say them again.
Purple Cross, Badge of Courage, Order of Merit, Victoria Cross.
You'd think it would be Victoria Cross because it like plays in thing, right? Queen Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna go with Victoria Cross.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Badge of Courage.
He's going Badge of Courage. Number 12. What do you call a law before it is passed?
Oh my god, I thought you said a
Allah.
law, like a law.
No. What do you call a law before it is passed? A, a new law. B, a proposed law. C, a bill. Or D, a new proposal. A new law, a proposed law, a bill, a new proposal.
Wait a minute. Okay, got it.
Number 13. What are the three main group? Wait, what?
Inuit. Métis.
United, the Loyalist Union or whatever.
Or the Galactic Republic.
The Galactic Republic.
I want them to throw in some answers that are so obviously wrong for that, just to be like, you know.
Gentlemen, you're going to have to give me a chance to find a 20th question after this because I accidentally used three main groups of Aboriginal peoples twice.
Whoa.
So skip over 13 for now. We'll come back to that one.
Okay.
Number 14. What three oceans border Canada?
Mm-hmm.
A, the Atlantic, the Arctic, and Bering.
Yep.
B, Atlantic, Arctic, and Pacific. C, Pacific, Indian, and Atlantic. Or D, the Hudson, Pacific, and Atlantic.
Don't know. Don't know anything about oceans or geography.
Patrick, are we good?
I'm ready.
Number 15, what was the Underground Railroad? A, an anti-slavery network that helped thousands of slaves escape the United States and settle in Canada. A railroad through the Rockies that was mainly through mountain tunnels. C, a network fur traders used to transport beaver pelts to the United States. D, the first underground subway tunnel in Toronto.
Okay.
Got it.
Number 16, what was the significance of the June 6th, 1944 invasion of Normandy, a.k.a. D-Day? What was the significance of this?
Okay.
A, it led to the establishment of the Juno Awards. B, it liberated North Africa from Nazi occupation. C, Canadians made a significant contribution to the defeat of Nazism and fascism in Europe during the Second World War. D. It resulted in the forcible relocation of Canadians of Japanese origin.
Oh, 16, right?
Yeah, I know that was a lot to throw at you. Number 17. What was the women's suffrage movement? A. The effort by women to achieve the right to vote. B. The effort by women to participate in military service. C. An unsuccessful movement to get husbands to do housework. D. The effort by women to be in parliament.
Okay. Three
Number
more.
18. What year did Newfoundland and Labrador join Canada?
Oh,
1867, 1955, 1949, 1880.
can you repeat the years, please?
1867, 1955, 1949, 1880.
Okay.
Patrick, are you good? Number 19. Which animal is an official symbol of Canada?
Mm.
A. The moose. B. The hawk. C. The beaver. Or D. The deer. Moose, hawk, beaver, deer.
Is that it?
This is the second last one, and then I have to really quickly find a 20th
What?
one, so you guys will have to
Oh,
fill
I see.
time.
Okay.
Number 20. What year was Confederation?
Oh, shit.
1867, 1871, 1898, 1864.
Can you please repeat the years? Damn it.
1867,
Okay.
1871, 1898, 1864.
Okay. I'm good.
Okay, really quickly fill time, and I'm going to find a last 20th question.
Okay.
What was B for 20? What was B?
B was 1871.
Shit.
Dab on him in the end there. I think I'm confident with I'd say majority of my answers.
Mm-hmm. I definitely have over 50%.
Me too.
I know that
think
for
we,
sure.
I think we passed. But I don't think we passed.
Yeah, to like be a citizen though.
I'm sure you probably have to get
Maybe like
if it's-
70.
yeah, like a driver's test is around the same. I think you have to pass like 70, 75 or something. Yeah, I would assume out of 20, you would have to get what, like 15 out of 20?
So like 75, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that what it is? 15 out of, yeah, that makes sense. Times 5.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
This is all going to get cut out, right?
I don't know. It depends if you guys fill time or not.
What?
Stay quiet.
Yeah, this is getting cut.
Ooh. Yeah, I was kind of hoping he was going to do the American citizenship test. And then we could send this to the American government. Like, if we did the
You
test.
passed my phone. I'm so sorry. Go ahead, continue.
You're going to look at your phone
No,
while
I
I talk.
was thinking, where's my phone? I'm sorry.
What was I saying? You piece of
I'm
shit.
just kidding.
I was saying that I was hoping he was going to do the American test
Mhm.
so that we could send this tape to the government and then appeal for citizenship.
Instant citizenship.
Instant citizenship.
We've proven that we could do it.
Let me be American now.
Court schmort. Let's just get in.
Yeah. Give me that green card, baby.
I actually think my my aunt and uncle and cousins and everything, they just recently got their citizenship.
Oh, wow. Congrats to them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, 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 yep.
This is 74%, I guess, made out of recycled material.
Yeah, that's just something they say to make themselves feel
Okay,
good.
I've got one
Interesting.
for you guys.
Sure.
So this will go into the number 13 slots. Let
Okay.
me just add this really quickly.
What are those little robots called from Star Wars? I like those ones.
Those ones? The recon droids? Yeah, I don't know what they're actually...
We-
recon, right?
You just called it a recon droid, so.
Is it recon droid? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's recon. I don't like them, though. They're kind of annoying.
They look cool. No?
Scout droid, recon droid,
Mm.
something like that.
Isn't the Scout the Roger thing, or what is that?
Those are battle droids.
Battle droids.
Yeah.
Is that? Okay.
And then the gray ones are super battle droids.
Yeah, those are cool. And there's the ball rolling ones.
Yeah, droidicas.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number
What
13.
are we talking about random Star Wars?
I don't know.
Filling time, baby. So, I hope you guys are doing this test with us and seeing if you guys can become Canadian.
How
Okay.
There we go.
is a government formed after a federal election? A, the party with the most elected representatives becomes the party in power. The leader of the party is chosen by the king. B,
Wait. Oh, that was just A.
Yeah.
That the most votes win and the leader is chosen by the king. Okay.
Yes. B, the governor general chooses a party and a prime minister to run the government.
Okay.
C, each province elects one representative, one of whom is chosen by the king to be prime minister. Or D, the party with the most elected representatives becomes the party in power. The leader of the party becomes the prime minister.
Okay.
So we have our answers to that. Now, really quickly, do me a favor, gentlemen. Swap your tests.
Yeah, let's rapid
And we're going to do out of 20.
Yeah.
Okay. So just X
For-
and question and check. Okay.
Sure. So for number 1, how many provinces? The answer was B, 10.
Cool.
First line of the anthem was A, O Canada, our home and native land.
Mm-hmm.
How is a cabinet minister chosen? By the prime minister. So D. In Canada's justice system, presumption of innocence is D. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. In which region do more than half the people in Canada live? A, Central Canada. On what date did Nunavut become a territory?
You put C. For 5, right? For 5.
Yeah, 5 was
Okay.
A.
Okay.
On what date did Nunavut become a territory? The answer was B, April 1st, 1999.
Neither of us got that.
What are the 3 levels of government in Canada? The answer was A, federal, provincial, and municipal. So 7A. What are the 3 main groups?
I'm sorry, Patrick put you put is that a 1 or is that a D?
It's a D.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Sorry, go ahead.
For number 8, we have A, First Nations,
Let's go.
Métis, and Inuit. So that one was meant to throw you off with its same answer but different order. 9, what are the 2 languages? C, English and French. What is a francophone? C, a person who speaks French. It's their first language. What is the highest military honor a Canadian can receive? D, the
Are you
Victoria
kidding
Cross.
me, bro? I got so many wrong.
What do you
No.
call a bill before or a law before it is passed? C, a bill. The one we just added, how is a government formed, is D.
Mm-hmm.
14, what are the 3 oceans? It was B, Atlantic, Arctic, and Pacific. Underground Railroad is A, anti-slavery network. For 16, the significance of D-Day, the answer was C. For 17, the women's suffrage movement was A, achieving the right to vote. What year did Newfoundland and Labrador join Canada? The answer was C, 1949.
Get that?
No, you did not.
What animal is an official symbol of Canada? The answer was C, the beaver.
Oh, that was a moose. So wait, it's the answer. I'm sorry, the answer is C. Okay.
Yeah. And last one, number 20. What year was Confederation?
Oh.
The answer was A,
Damn.
1867.
Yes.
Now I'd like you to count up your answers out of 20, gentlemen.
So we live in central Canada then.
Yes.
Okay. I thought we were like I guess Atlantic meant like the.
East Coast.
Okay. Well, I wanna give I want to give myself 16 because I misunderstood what Atlantic
No,
was.
that's. I mean, if you misunderstand, you misunderstand.
Now, in order to pass this test
God
and
damn.
become a Canadian citizen,
Canadian, no.
you needed a total of
Yeah, you got it.
15.
Oh,
God,
just
bro.
pass.
75%.
I
So
did it.
Patrick was right on the money,
I was
so
right
he
on the
gets to
money.
stay in the country. And what did Mark get?
17.
So there you go. You guys get to stay.
Oh my
Yay.
god,
Malcolm
bro.
and I don't.
Canadian man.
Malcolm and I don't have to find new podcast hosts.
Great.
You get to
I will-
stay
I
in
will-
the
I
country.
That's the pretext of this topic. Like,
I will say one thing though. There was one question where I was like, I think that's the answer,
Mm.
and then I saw you start writing, and I was like, probably the answer then. So if you want to demote me a point,
I would
because
like to.
Sure.
I would like to.
So 16 and 15.
Although again, I felt like this seems right, and then I saw you write, and I was like, okay, that confirmed my I think.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna take that away from you.
Sure, go for it. All right.
Just to make
There
myself
you
feel a
go.
little better.
Honesty. Well, anyways, you passed. You're allowed to stay in the country. I hope you at home we're playing to figure out if you're allowed to stay in this country. And that's it.
Okay.
That's the Canadian citizenship test.
Good stuff. Oh wow.
Whoa. Wait. This has no significance towards my feelings.
Wow.
This doesn't indicate my feelings towards Canada. I swear to God.
Wow.
Okay. Cool.
I love Canada.
Me
Okay,
too.
let's cut this now.
My topic is about, I guess you could call it like home decor.
Okay.
I want to talk about like what kind of vibe you like for a house. Like when you have a house in the future, what kind of like style do you like for a house? Because for me, I'll start. I like a very like modern looking house. I like a lot of glass, like sunlight. I like a Parasite looking house, and Maddie can like real quick put up a picture of the Parasite house. That's the kind of house that I like. It's very like sleek and yeah, a lot of glass, a lot of like metals and stuff.
Can we search up what sleek means? You would use sleek to define a house?
It just feels it feels very
To describe,
like,
sorry, a house?
because I think some houses are more like warm and comfy but I think this is like sleek and like chic, kind of like, you know,
Sleek and chic.
elegant.
This is the
Matt,
first
you
time
want to pull them up, Matt? Can you pull it up here?
What?
Just like pictures of
Smooth and glossy is what sleek means.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking about.
He was tall with sleek dark hair.
What am I looking for?
Like just Parasite house. Parasite house. I like how people searched up the floor plan. People want to recreate it. Like that's a badass house that I want. That's like a cool, like very modern,
Mm-hmm.
like
You know,
natural colors. Like
Mhm.
you know, yeah.
Yeah, and if you go to Oakville Lakeshore, you can see a bunch of houses that look like that.
Can you go into the interior, Maddie? There's like a lower picture there, bottom left. Yeah, bottom left. There we go. Yeah, it just looks awesome.
Bottom left.
So I like kind of houses like that. I like browns and silvers and like natural tones and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
yeah,
you want it to be smooth and shiny.
sure.
Sleek, baby.
Sleek.
But I know some people like more of like I don't know, like a Victorian, old timey looking house. Some people like brick houses. Some people like different unique shit. Like I was wondering what kind of house you guys would want in the future, what color schemes you would want, that sort of stuff.
Interesting.
Or maybe you don't even envision yourself living in a
I was
house.
going to say like RV.
I don't know.
Is sort of what I was
Recreational
thinking.
vehicle.
Recreational vehicle.
On the road.
Is that what RV means?
Yes.
Yes.
Recreational vehicle? Oh my
Yes.
God, you learn something new every day. Recreational vehicle.
I can't say I've honestly thought too much about this.
Mm.
Off the top of the dome, I would want a house. I mean, I would basically take what I've got now, like just like a more standard looking, like
a suburb house.
Yeah, like maybe a little more. If I could make it slightly more homey feeling.
In what way?
Your home isn't homey? Oh my God, your parents are going to get so angry.
In what way would you like interior? You're saying or out exterior?
Maybe more so like interior, but actually even the way our house is, like my mom's kind of got that shit.
Now he's backtracking.
Yeah, he's like,
actually, it's
My
pretty
mom's
homey,
gonna
isn't
hear
it?
It's pretty homey. Yes, I don't know. I would just kind of go with what I've got now. The only difference with my house in the future is like maybe the interior design. It would definitely have much more of my like tastes, let's say,
Like what?
reflected. Even if it's just parts of the house. Like I would want like artwork
Yeah, but to
and
me,
like that kind of home decor shit.
Sure. Yeah, that counts. That counts as
Like-
decor. But I was thinking more like what kind of color schemes would you have? Like, are you more of like a flashy colors guy? Like you're gonna have some like bright colors, or are you like neutral tones?
More neutral tones, I would think. I wouldn't want like bright red or some shit like in the living room or whatever. Like that might be a little.
you wouldn't?
No, that might be a little.
What if Varsh
aggressive.
wants bright red?
I mean, I guess we'll talk about it, but I can't see her.
You'd
wanting
consider bright
either.
red?
In a world where Varsh wants bright red, you're getting bright red.
Wow.
Happy
Right?
wife, happy life.
Right? Am I right or wrong?
You're probably
hypothetical
you're probably close to the bullseye. But yeah, I don't know. So it would be like a homey thing. I like having a fireplace.
Oh, cool.
Like
Okay.
a
Like an
fireplace.
actual fireplace?
Yeah, because we have like a
Live.
I have a showy one.
Yeah,
Okay.
that Santa can come down.
I have I don't know. I think
So you want a chimney,
I have
too.
we have like a showy one. It's not
We have
real,
like
it's
a digital one.
that's
where
right.
It's just like lights, and it has like a heater built in.
Me
So
too.
it's the same effect. Like I would take that too, but the idea of having actual, just because I love that smell.
I have an important question.
Please.
Why would anyone want to get a real fireplace?
Yeah, I don't
when
know
they
why you'd
could
ever
have
want
the
that.
digital one.
It looks.
I like the authenticity.
I'm mocking you right now.
Yeah, but I feel like the digital one it comes with the heat.
Sure.
It comes with the good vibe, like the warmth,
Sure.
the general look. So what's the difference other than that you can't like? What's the difference
It's
other than
not
it's not real
authentic.
fire? Like, what's the
Not
other? What's the only
authentic.
difference?
I just like the like kind of authenticity. I like the smell, like that.
Oh, the
Also, you
smell.
can't
campfire
roast
kinda
marshmallows on it.
That's true. And the smells of. I mean, some people like that firewood smell.
Yeah, and I didn't even think of that, but it is like the type of thing you could be like, oh, we're gonna do like a movie night and do like s'mores or whatever, like that kind of like
That's pretty.
That's true.
thing. I know it's a certain amount of extra like upkeep and maintenance
Yeah,
and shit,
that's why I wouldn't do it. It would be like.
but
If you care
I
enough.
like in my head I like the idea of like, oh, it'd be nice to have like a
Mm.
fireplace and just every once in a while toss a couple logs in
Mm.
there.
And also, I want to throw this in there too, and I'm sure you guys would agree with me, but I would love. I mean, we're talking like we're talking as if we're gonna have. I mean, maybe we won't have houses for a very long time, probably.
Probably not.
But-
the economy has
Yes,
fucked us.
I'm honestly prepared to, and I'm happy with living in small spaces. I don't mind. So like the way I think about it is that I'm probably gonna live in like a single bedroom apartment for like at least 5 to 10 years, until like maybe I have enough money where I can like put a down payment or something.
Mm.
But when I do get a house, I want to definitely have like an entertainment room.
Mm.
Whether it's like set up with like movie seats or something, or if
That's
it's just
cool.
or if it's just kind of like a gaming room that you could also watch movies in, like a huge TV.
I've seen like on TikTok
Mm.
a whole bunch where people have like a cinema room
Oh,
where
yes.
it is
So
like
cool.
one of those things where it has like the like high class or like high grade seats,
Like super
Mhm.
where
comfy
it can
chairs.
recline,
Yeah.
but it's like
Mhm.
different rows, so you can have like up to maybe like 15 friends.
Yeah.
But it's also like you can set up your PlayStation, obviously, because it's in your
That's
house, so
so
you can
sick.
use it for what you want.
I've seen people do like UFC events, like watch UFC
Yeah.
events. So you'll walk downstairs and like before you enter the room, there's like
A billboard.
a screen,
Yeah.
a big screen being like this fighter versus this fighter and all the stats and stuff.
Yeah.
Like imagine doing that for like NHL playoffs.
Mhm.
You go downstairs and it's like, oh, Tampa versus the Leafs, and it's like the starting lineups on this like big digital screen, and you walk in there and there's a huge there's a huge screen in there, and you have like a bunch of friends. You can like reorient the chairs however you want them to order food. Like that to me is like the best shit ever.
Yeah, home theater is definitely something in my head that I fantasize about, of having like a dope ass
Mm.
screen, or even if it's like more of a projector kind of thing. But just having something like that with like actual seats,
Mm.
fucking subwoofers and sound
Oh,
bars
How many
dude.
seats?
everywhere. I don't know, like 4.
Yeah, you want to get that. You want to get that fucking surround sound. That'd be dope.
Yeah, I
I
like
feel like
sound bars and
Mhm.
subwoofers up the ass.
I feel like if you want it to be like a thing where you could have your friends over, you would probably want more than 4 seats.
Maybe then do like a couple couches or something, but I wouldn't like, I know some people do the home theater thing where they literally get like movie
Just rows,
theater
yeah.
rows. Like
Yeah.
even if it's only like 2 rows of like 5, they do that, but I would
Yeah.
rather get like actual
I think
like
that's better. though.
recliners or chairs or some shit.
I think 2 rows is better because it's more versatile that way. I think.
Yeah.
But I feel like the comfort level would be better with like a sofa or something.
But you can have it where it's like you're not getting movie theater chairs. You're getting like actual recliners
Hmm.
kind of.
Oh, I
thing.
see,
But
like
it's,
rows of
elevated,
recliners.
but like rows.
like lazy boy type.
Exactly.
Perhaps.
Interesting.
And then being able to like just play games and shit down
Yeah,
there too.
I'd want-
fucking
That would be
dope.
so cool.
I'd-
bro.
I w-
Smash.
Yeah. I'd want to have I wish I could have a dedicated room like that, where like I like the idea of separating my bedroom from like my entertainment room. Like I don't want to be like I want to watch movies and shit in my bedroom for sure. If I'm by myself, I'm not gonna go down to the entertainment room by myself probably. But yeah, like I don't like the idea. I don't like gaming in my room. I feel like it feels like I'm mixing like pleasure with like my personal space that I kind of like. I try to think of my bedroom more like just chill, maybe like watch TV or
So-
something.
so
But
I-
I like having like a different place for my gaming stuff.
I understand you're in you're in a particular place in your life right now, so this might not apply.
Sure.
But keep in mind, like, are you gonna hold that principle when you have a woman in your life? Like, you don't mix pleasure with like your sleep area.
No, I didn't mean that. Like literally, I'm saying like
Yeah.
I'm saying I want my gaming stuff to be a separate
Okay.
thing.
He's not talking pleasures of the
No.
flesh.
Because you said
No,
pleasure, and
of the
I
flesh.
thought you meant all.
So gross to say it like
I
that. By the way. Like grosser than being explicit.
I thought you meant. He's right. He's absolutely right. I thought you meant all pleasure. So like pleasure in
No.
like games and in
Yeah.
Pleasuring
the flesh.
himself. You always say I'm so vulgar, and then I tried to
Oh boy.
class it up a little bit.
I didn't.
Let's get back on track here. So another thing I'd say
I mean, I
is
did
that I
agree with him.
definitely want like an office in my house.
Mm.
I want an office where it's like
Okay.
very neat, very clean, just like simple space, not cluttered.
The kids aren't allowed in.
Yeah, it's like very like it's like a nice, decent sized room. I probably have like a desktop. I have like a big desk that goes like around, and it has like space for multiple notebooks or whatever.
Is that for like where like you can make chocolate milk?
That's where I'd basically do like grading and shit like that,
Mm.
and working on lesson plans and whatever. And I have like I just want it to be like a private workspace. I don't like the idea of mixing different aspects of my life. Like, I hate the fact that in my house, I've been trying to find a good place to do work because my room is very small and my bed takes up majority of my room and my desk is like cluttered with a bunch of shit. So, and even if I did clear my desk, it's like I'd have to like pull the chair out and it would hit the bed. Like, it's not spacious enough for me to feel comfortable to do work. So like I go downstairs in like the kitchen, dining room, table area. Like, so the idea of having a house, like a home office, is incredible. Home office and an entertainment room are like a must for me if I have a house at some point.
Yeah. For me, a must also is like a really nice backyard.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Has a jacuzzi and a pool.
Whoa.
And then some sort of like lounge area, kind of like what Matthew has in his backyard.
Yeah.
But like with the pool and the.
I like the
included.
lounge thing. However, I think I would do.
You know what's dope too? I'm so sorry to cut you off, but just to get it out as well. Like, imagine an outdoor bar as well.
Well, we'll get to that. But I like the idea of having like a deck, like my neighbors have.
Yeah.
Like the idea of like that being the more kind of lounge space
In the backyard?
I just
Okay.
like the vibe of a deck. But something for sure I would need in my house is what I will just refer to as the vice room,
I don't like that.
where I would like.
We only watch Miami Vice.
We only watch Miami Vice. No, like I would want a room like that has, maybe not a room necessarily, but like I like the idea of having like an at-home bar of some kind, and like having like
Malcolm's
one or two.
basement is so
Sure.
cool for that.
And
Yeah.
having like one or two like beers on tap or something, or just having like shelves with booze and stuff. I don't need like, because I know some people do like whole rooms. I wouldn't need that, but like a little humidifier for some cigars, because like, you know, that would be.
You know what's
Nice.
interesting? I feel like Malcolm's basement that you touched on it. I feel like it could actually be a really good entertainment room if you had like a really big TV. Because I think the one there is kind of medium or small. But imagine if you had like a huge theater screen in there, and there's like the L couch or whatever. I feel like if you got different couches and did rows, and then there's a bar right behind, that's like a really cool entertainment room.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is like for myself, I think I've gotten really jealous of like watching people online that have saunas in the backyard, or like people have like a little sauna room.
They do.
It's like a little private box.
Oh my god.
It's like a sauna. It's probably insanely expensive, but like a lot of people have a home gym. I mean, if we're talking like fantasy here, like I want a home gym. I don't want to have to drive someplace, wait in line, whatever. I feel like the idea of going to a gym, and Patrick and I are actually going to go right after.
Honestly,
this
a home
episode,
gym
but
is so doable.
I think it's doable for sure, and I think that
Merrick had a home gym of sorts.
sure, but I'd want one that has like enough equipment where I wouldn't have to like stop doing shit that I'm doing at the gym.
Okay.
So like I'd want it to be big enough. Like
you need like, you'd probably want like from 20 pounds to like maybe 70 pounds worth of dumbbells. I think that would be your biggest cost, is the dumbbells, because then you can just get a bench, a bar,
yeah,
and then plates.
for
That'll be for squats, for thing. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna get a multi-purpose sort of like rack.
I'd want one rack that has like a bunch of like, it has like 2 cables
Mm-hmm.
and the little like rack.
Yeah,
like,
you could get the rack with the cables.
That's all I would need, and then
with
a
the thing
bench.
that holds the bar. So
Yeah.
you can bench, you can squat, and then you can do all your cable exercises on that one thing.
and then one bench and one of those L benches.
well, you can get the bench that turns into an L.
No, but I'm talking about the one that has like
Oh,
it's
that
cut in
kinda
the middle,
you
so you can do that.
this.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but like, I feel like that would be really amazing because then, and I was gonna say that I feel like going to an external gym has gotten me motivated, and I feel like I don't get as lazy because I have to go somewhere. And the idea of having a home gym might make me lazy, but at the end of the day, I feel like the convenience of it, and if it's a solid home gym, I feel like I'd want to go there. I'd be like, I can do the exact same stuff I'm doing in the external gym, except I don't have to deal with other people like taking extra long, or I don't have to wait for people.
Yeah.
So having a home gym, a sauna, and even like a cold plunge would be incredible.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like I'm talking like straight fantasy here.
Yeah.
Just like having all the bells and whistles. and stuff.
Minecraft creative
A
mode.
cold
Yeah,
plunge.
Yeah. So like I think even Rogan talks about it, where he has like, it's really expensive, but he has like this like mini bathtub.
Oh,
And,
that's
like-
dedicated for ice baths.
Yeah, it's like an ice
Okay.
plunge thing, and then like
Yeah.
you can see the ice like sheets forming over it and stuff.
Yeah.
And he like alternates between the sauna and that, and it's apparently really good for you. I know like, I think we were even talking. I don't know if I was talking to you.
Adriano.
Yeah, we were talking about like if you go to the sauna like multiple times a week. I think it's like 3 times a week for 20 minutes each or something, for a total of like an hour a week. I think it lowers like your risk of like heart and stroke by like a considerable percentage as well. And like the cold plunge is really good for like protein development, or I don't know what they say, but like apparently it's really good for you too.
Science.
Yeah.
One thing I think, if I'm so fortunate, that I would like to do, which I think people have done interesting variations of, is utilizing the garage.
Oh, okay.
Because some people have done the thing where they make their home gym
The garage.
in their garage,
Yep.
or they'll do like the home theater setup in the garage. And I think
vehemently oppose
Yeah, I don't
that.
like that.
why?
I just
In
feel
the
like
the garage doesn't have good temperature control.
and I feel like the
But that's
sound.
the thing is people give it that. Like people will essentially like finish a garage in the way that you would like finish a basement.
Well,
also,
wouldn't that-
like make it a room.
Yes, like it's an extension of the house as opposed to just like a place where you
keep
leave the
cars.
fucking
then where would you put
lawnmower.
your car?
But to me, on the
mean,
driveway.
on the driveway?
But to
In
me,
the winter. Okay.
but to me, that would be like a situation where like if I didn't have an extra room to make like a home theater, I'd put it in the garage. But like if I had the choice, I'd rather have it internal for sure. Because I also feel like the sound situation would be interesting in a garage. Like you'd have to like probably insulate the walls or some shit so it doesn't. Like I feel like it would be more work where as opposed to just like having an internal room.
Honestly,
I
home
guess.
theater just screams basement to me. Like it
Yeah,
just I think it has to be in the basement
For
me,
sure, I
at
think it's a good
least.
option. I think
Yeah.
that like I like the idea of like a home office being on the living room floor, like the main floor.
Yeah.
And you just have the bedrooms and the bathrooms upstairs and like a bathroom in the middle, and then like the basement can be like finished entertainment room. There's a basement. Like there's a bathroom and stuff in
Yeah.
there. Even maybe a bedroom.
A bedroom too, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the 50 Shades of Grey room? Does that speak to you at all,
That does not speak to me, no.
Patrick? Not at all. You
No,
don't want
does it
like a
speak to you?
dedicated
Dedicated
Does it speak
dungeon.
to you?
like a room.
My understanding is that you're quite vanilla.
Where'd you get that impression?
That's just my understanding.
I also don't think I would need a 50 Shades of Grey
Mm.
S.
Okay, here.
Are
let-
you vanilla?
last thing we'll talk about here, I think,
Jesus, what does that mean?
for like a bedroom,
Mm.
how do you guys feel about the idea of like, if you're in a relationship, like you and your spouse having like your own dedicated bedrooms, and then like, I know some people do a thing where they have like 3 bedrooms, like one together, one if some person is like,
Upset?
maybe, or if someone is like, I guess if someone is like sleeping early and then the other it's like the schedules don't line up, for example, and you don't want to wake the person up or something. But what I was thinking about initially was like, what size of bed do you want?
Mm.
That's a question that I'm thinking about. Like to me,
Double king.
double king. You want to have like 17 people in your bed. No, but to me, I think that the perfect size is
Anything less than king is, I think, really, really stupid.
yeah,
Why would
honestly,
you want the space?
again, yeah. If we're talking fantasy, like even if I didn't need king, I'd want king. You know,
I have
The
always
California
had
king.
like a small bed,
Yeah.
even still.
Like, you
so
got
to
a-
me, it's like
like a double or a single.
it might even be a single. I don't know, but like
So
The
yours
single,
is
the
a
single is the
single.
one.
His is a single.
The single one is like it's just for like one person laying flat. But like if you roll over, you're gonna fall off. Type thing.
I mean, I've never had that problem.
you know, I know.
He's a single.
I would take I don't know, like a queen or whatever. Like I don't
Yeah,
need a
queen size.
giant.
If you're gonna go up, then might as well say king.
Yeah,
but I
queen-
don't need a giant bed.
But if you have a giant house, then it depends on the size of your house, to be honest.
What if
And-
Varsh wants a king?
I'd say that's a stupid waste of money. Let's save the money.
You know
and
what
get
I'd
a
love?
queen.
I'd love the size of a bed where you could lay down on it horizontally and not be hanging off. You know what I'm saying? I think that's king.
I
That's
want the one
insane.
where Dan Bilzerian is posted in it. That has like him with like 50 girls.
Yeah,
by
yeah,
his
yeah.
side.
Yeah, if for whatever reason you were in the
Such a
situation where,
huge bed. Bro.
if you were in the situation where 50 girls wanted to come home,
Mhm.
then you wouldn't have to be like, sorry, ladies.
If you were at the
bed
Playboy
is
Mansion,
so comically large, bro.
Yeah,
The amount
yeah.
of women on each side is
Mm.
ridiculous.
Dude, I was thinking of that Bill Burr bit when he's talking about like I think Tiger Woods or something,
Mhm.
and he's like, why are people so mad at Tiger Woods for cheating on his wife or something like that? He's like, all these people like on the news talking about it with like these like these bigger guys like that don't understand the position of temptation that he's in. Like he finishes like doing insanely good in golf, and then he like goes into his like bus or whatever, and there's like 50 Scandinavian like models waiting for him, and he's gonna be like, sorry ladies, I gotta go home to the wife or whatever.
I think one thing I'd like to get in my home right now, if I could do a little
Yeah,
bit of home decor
let's
now,
jump to realism of like what you could potentially do right now.
which I have yet to pull the trigger on, is I don't have a TV in my room, because I'm kind of with you where I don't necessarily like gaming in my room. Like the most I ever do is take my Switch up there with me if I'm just
Sure.
like lying in bed. But my room, I'm either just sleeping or like because I have my desk, so I'm like working. Whereas I like being in the basement playing video games. But before I go to bed, if I want to watch TV or like YouTube or whatever the fuck, or if I wanted to play games, I would like the idea of getting like a schwanky projector so that I could just point it at the ceiling.
Oh, okay.
Because what's frustrating now is I don't use like AirPods or like earbud style headphones. I haven't for a few years now because like I forget why, but like, my like ears were getting plugged or some shit, and my doctor was like, stop wearing or like using earbud
What do you mean,
headphones.
plugged in what way?
I think I literally like there was one time where my right ear, some shit was like so fucked, and I went to the doctor and they were like, yeah, your ear canals are like really narrow and whatever. And so when there's like just like, you know, earwax and like normal shit in there, like there's less room basically was my doctor's whole point. She's like, do you wear like earbud kind of headphones? I was like, yeah. She's like, don't wear those. She's like, because that's not gonna like help. So I've only
always
ever
felt-
worn
Yeah.
like over the ear headphones. And the problem with these is that if I'm like lying down staring at the ceiling in my bed,
Fall off your head.
no problem.
Oh.
But the problem is as soon as I try to like turn over, you can't lie
Yeah, it hurts.
sideways
Yeah.
comfortably with these. So if I had a projector that I could just point at the ceiling and just sit and lie there, either watching TV and shit or playing a game.
But is your
That
ceiling?
that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm sorry, Matthew.
a projector?
A projector that points up at the ceiling.
I've seen
Yeah,
that before.
people do that.
It depends on what your ceiling is like, because I think if your ceiling,
But hold
if your
on.
ceiling is
You're,
like,
you're trying to
whoops,
convince me. You're trying to convince me
Mhm.
that you're gonna lay perfectly still like this for 2 hours.
If I'm just lying in bed watching TV, yeah, what the hell else am I going to do?
That's true.
I don't
I
see
feel
it,
like
Matt.
I
just
don't
don't
see it. I don't see it either, because when I watch something, I'll go from like lying on this side to like lying on that side to lying flat to like
even
sitting up
even
more.
in a theater, like I'm like moving around a whole bunch.
Yeah, I feel like the human body is like very.
you're telling me you'll stay like that for 2 hours.
I guess.
I thought Patrick was misunderstanding, and he was thinking that you said that you were gonna balance the projector on your chest. I was like, why does he have to stay perfectly still? But to watch, yeah. Also, it depends on the ceiling, because this ceiling is like, you guys can't see it, but it's like studded.
Yeah,
So you'd have to have a
mine's
smooth
got
ceiling.
the like popcorn kind of thing
Oh,
going
then you can't
on.
do that. It's gonna look horrible.
Yeah, I would either have to like sand it down or just get like
When you're like fucking like with a like those polisher thing.
yeah, like
Sand
just
it
sand
down.
it down, or I would just get like a little like tarp or whatever and just
Yeah.
stick it up there.
What's the
Maddie, I
point of
can't
what's the
support
point of
this.
these ceilings? I hate these. Look,
I don't know.
it looks just like.
I think it's just to give it like some texture or whatever, as opposed to just like flat.
Why?
I
Give
don't
the
know.
ceiling some texture.
I don't like the
I
texture.
genuinely
Matthew.
think that's the point. I don't get it, but I think it's just like I guess it's just more than just it's
Matthew?
flat.
Matthew,
Mm.
I can't support you in this buying of a projector for the ceiling.
Okay.
I think you should
Okay.
buy a projector, and then if you can have like if you can make space on the wall, then you can like put it there
Yeah.
on a wall.
I guess, but then that presents the same problem of
Or
like
just
how
get
do
a-
I lie
Get a fucking
sideways?
TV, dude.
But again, that's the thing too, where it's like if I don't know if the TV though the problem is I don't really have space
Hang it up on the wall.
for a TV.
Can you not hang it up on the wall somewhere?
Maybe, but even that, like, I would want it like over the bed
Mhm.
so that I could still be lying flat on my back, like looking at it.
Wait, I don't
you know?
understand. I don't understand what you're saying. If I'm on my bed, my TV's like in front of me.
He wants
Yes.
the TV to
I
be on
can
the ceiling.
I can lie down and still watch. I can sit up and still watch. Like it's not like it has to be up there. Like
But
why?
I would want it up there. I just want to be able to lie down
Dude,
and
I've-
look at what I'm
I've-
watching.
You're telling me you want to put a TV on your ceiling?
I would.
Dude, I've never had the idea of like wanting to watch something laying flat down. I just don't think that. That's why.
See, that's where the projector thing comes in. If I could just shine it up there and just watch it,
But I feel like it would hurt your neck. No.
but I'm lying perfectly flat.
And also, no projectors.
it's like
are
I'm in my bed, so I'm
You-
just like
I'm sure you-
resting my head on my pillow.
I'm sure you could do it, but no projector has like a stand that allows you to go up.
No,
like,
no, there are projectors that are sold on. I've seen like ads on
that
Instagram
just do ceiling.
that are meant for ceiling. Yeah.
No way, bro.
I swear to God.
There are,
It's-
other, there are other fools like this guy out there.
It's like branded to like students and like young people who want to just like throw it in their bedroom and they can just watch up.
What?
Yeah.
seen it.
I know a
This
couple
is a
people.
whole thing?
I
Yeah,
know a
it's a
couple
thing.
of people like in college who didn't have TVs in their dorm
Are you
rooms
friends
or
with them?
whatever.
Are you friends with them right now?
Yes. Who didn't have like TVs in their dorm rooms or like whatever apartment they were staying at and just used like a projector and like a tarp or whatever.
Name
Mm.
them.
I'm not naming people, no. And I would imagine too that's like infinitely cheaper to just get like a projector
Name
and
them
a
so I can dox them.
thing. No. I think I thought I saw something not long ago for like a 4K
Mm.
projector or some shit. It was like $1,000, which is like I wouldn't be doing that.
You
But
could
like,
get a TV for a good TV for my TV was like my TV is like decently sized. I think it's like 45 or 40 inches or something. So like for my small room, it like looks really big, and it's 4K, and it's like it was like less than $1,000.
yeah, like at that point, maybe just get a TV. But
Yeah.
I would spend like $200 on one, for example.
What?
Less than 1,000 could mean $99.99.
No, I think it was like in the range of like 5 to 8, 5 to 7, something like that.
Okay.
It was like either $4.99 or $5.99 or $6.99, something like that.
Okay, it's a pretty big.
It's a decent range, but you know you're not going to spend an arm and a leg on it. But last thing I will say as well, I've said last thing once or twice before, but I need a standing shower. Like the shower that I use every day now is like a part of a bathtub, right? So it's a bathtub, shower head on top.
Mm-hmm.
The master bedroom, my parents have like this really nice glass door,
Mm-hmm.
and it opens, and it's like a square shower that's like really tall, and there's a shower head, and there's like racks and stuff. Like that's really nice, and I've used it like once or twice when like my brother was in the other shower, and my dad's like, yeah, just use it. I need that standing shower because it's just like quick, easy. Open the door, get in. Open the door, get out. But I just don't like the idea of like the bathtub and like it just doesn't feel.
What?
Your logic always kills me, bro.
What?
You're saying it's quick, easy. The implication is that the bathtub, the extra step you have to do is not quick or easy.
It's not like I'm bothered by the step, but I like the idea of not. It just feels weird. Like, why am I standing in a bathtub right now?
Okay.
Like, I just want a shower.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I would want an actual shower, but
Yeah.
like I'm not opposed to the bathtub.
But I
thing.
mean, I'm sure his parents, because my parents have the same thing. They have a bathtub too.
They have the
My
master
parents have
standing
bedroom.
shower and
The
a
master
bathroom.
bedroom in my house has like, I'm sure a lot of houses have
does
the
the
same
bathtub
thing.
have a shower head too?
No.
No,
That's what I'm
It's just
saying.
a pure
there's a
bathroom.
separate. There's a shower, a standing shower,
Yeah.
and then there's like almost not a jacuzzi, but it's like a
Yes.
big
Yeah.
rounder
It's
one.
like an
with,
oval one that
yeah.
looks kind of fancy.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
parents have the same shit, and what I'm saying is like I would take that, but if for some reason I was in a house where like the master bathroom only had like a tub with a shower head, like that wouldn't
You know what it is to
that
me?
wouldn't like bug me. I'd be like, all right, whatever.
It doesn't bug me all that much, but I just think about it like that's my preference. I prefer to have that standing shower because to me it's like this is a bathtub. It's meant for baths. I don't want to stand in a bathtub and like shower.
And who's taking baths, honestly?
Exactly. But to me, having like a hot tub or jacuzzi, is really nice because like, and I've never used my parents' one before because they kind of use it for storage. To be honest, like they put like like different like cleaning items and like whatever, and like they don't actually like use the bathtub that the big round one that they have in there. But to me, it would be really cool to like fill it up with hot water, and then you have like something to drink on the side, and then maybe you can set up like something to watch. Like you just chill in there, like it's comfortable. The bathtub that we all probably have in like in the bathroom upstairs is like that narrow rectangular one. You can't lay down if you're taller than 5'4". Like you can't lie down because like your knees, you have to like bend your knees
Matt
and
can lie down.
Kill yourself.
But like even if he was able to lay down, it's not comfortable at all.
No.
And it's kind of like weird on your back and your neck. It's like you don't know whether to
I don't
sit.
understand who wants to lie down. Like, you want to kill yourself?
No. I'm saying like it's weird on like if you'd want to
You're
sit
saying
up.
Your back rested.
You'd want with your back
okay.
like, then
I thought you
your
were,
back
saying, like,
and your back is hitting the faucet because my back like there's like the
we'll
faucet
sit
like
on the other
this.
side then.
But on the other side, I just feel like I guess you could sit on the other side, but it's just either way, it's too narrow and it's not comfortable. I don't like it.
Okay.
I will just toss out there lastly. One thing I think about
sixth last thing. Let's do
Yep.
it.
from time to time is like dream house shit. The idea of having like a Japanese style house.
So
And I'm talking
a Japanese gentleman living in your house.
exactly. But I'm talking about like some like countryside house where it's like like the sliding doors and like all that
cool.
kind of shit, like old school Japanese style.
You know why?
house.
I don't know why. I feel like I would develop a deep depression living there.
Depression.
Oh wow.
I just feel
Why?
like I think the idea of something that's like isolated and like it would make me feel like I'm alone for some reason. I don't know why. I like the
But if you could take that house and like plop it in like a suburban like neighborhood,
that'd be cool.
like
the
I
environment would be.
I would
different.
take that of just like that kind of house, like the sliding doors, the whole like maybe even the like
know how fast you get
mattress on
robbed?
the mattress on the ground. Not the front fucking door. The front door is not a sliding door.
It's, it's made out of paper.
You said you want that house in a suburban area here.
Yes.
Put that in Brampton, bro.
Ooh, I'm not going to Brampton. No, thank you. I wouldn't put Fort Knox in Brampton.
Whoa.
Oh,
Dude, you see how many
Brampton
videos
slander.
are coming out of like
dances.
I don't know why it's like recently. Maybe this has always been a problem.
Okay.
But like like robberies happening in Brampton and like people getting shot in Brampton.
Oh my goodness.
And do you
Well-
see that video of the guy? He was like, it was a guy. He hopped out of his car. He went to this convenience store. He comes out and there's another guy beating the crap out of him. And then the guy backs up, and the other guy who was getting like hit opens his car door quickly, pulls out a gun and starts
Pops.
unloading on
Oh
him.
my god.
Crazy.
I did not see that. No, it's
Grand Theft Auto, baby.
It's an interesting place out there in Brampton. Not my cup of tea.
Good point.
Wait, what was the point you were trying to make again?
Japanese house.
Oh yeah.
But like like having that and the whole like the idea of everything being low to the ground where it's like it's not like a bed frame, it's just like the mattress on the ground. Or even if you've ever seen like the dining room tables where it's like it's almost like the tables like maybe a foot or two off the ground
And you sit.
and below it is like it's like dug into the ground, like it's
Oh,
almost like a
interesting.
pit, so that you're sitting not in a chair but you are like
On the floor. Yeah.
basically, but your legs can still like go down, and then you're like at the table and all that. Like that kind of vibe would be interesting.
I don't think we talked about like the different kinds of houses because there's like a lot of people like a bungalow, like a single floor thing.
I hate that.
I don't like it either. I feel like I would feel.
I need multiple levels.
I feel like I'd feel unsafe being on one.
I need to have a high enough level that I could stand above the rubble.
Look
And
down
watch
on
it-
the
watch-
rubble. What? Where the fuck do you want to live?
Yemen.
Brampton.
But yeah, so there's like
those are your words. I'm not agreeing with them.
there's like a bungalow. There's kind of like in like Victorian like old houses. There's
I like an old house too.
Yeah?
Like my aunt, when she used to live in Toronto, her house was like in the older part of town, and her house was like,
She sell it?
yeah, because now she's not there anymore.
Where is she?
I'm not gonna disclose that. But like that old style of house, even here in town, there's like houses that are like old as shit like
Sure.
that. I like that look and vibe too, kind of thing.
yeah. Okay. Well,
Anyways,
appreciate the interactions. And yeah, that's my topic, boys. Do we want to cut or do we want to start a new one?
I regret it. We're finally in the last topic. Let's talk about eating etiquette at restaurants.
Oh, okay.
So I want you guys to sort of think of...
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about how bad I am at that, but go ahead.
Yeah, so I want you guys to think about if you guys have any stories of like horrible cases of like eating etiquette, maybe for yourselves or like other people around you.
Sure.
So yeah, let's just start off with this
Okay.
for the topic. Yeah.
Okay, so for myself, I feel like I don't know how to eat properly sometimes with certain items, I'd say.
Okay.
So for example, if there's a plate of pasta, there's no problems. I'm forking it, eating it, forking it, eating it. I'm eating at a decent pace, like it's fine. The problem comes when I'm using like handheld food. So if I go to the bar with you guys and I get a burger and I get wings and stuff, I feel like I don't know what my pace should be or what like how I should approach it, because I feel like I'll take a bite out of my burger, right? And then a fry or a bite out of my poutine, whatever. And then I'll go to a wing. And the problem starts with the wings. I think the wings are the real issue here. Because I take a bite and I clean the wing, but then my hands are so sticky and I want to wipe
I'm
them.
going to stop you right there. I think that's like more of a... That's more of like a... That's not... I don't think that's an etiquette problem. I think that's like more of a... To me, that sounds more like a grip problem with the wings. Like you need to adjust your grip kind of thing. Would you say that's etiquette?
No, what I was going to say is like
Yeah.
when my hands get like dirty and like sticky from the wings,
Yeah.
I feel the need to like wipe them off right away. Because I don't want to eat the rest of my food with my like sticky fingers.
Okay.
So what I end up doing is, you know this, I use too many paper towels.
Mm.
I use too many, and then I end up having like 3-4 bunched in the corner, and that's not a good look, and it's like, you know, not proper etiquette, obviously. So to me, it's like, I think I either have to just decide for myself, like just bear through having like sticky fingers for the rest of the meal. But then to me, that also doesn't look good either. But I guess it's like the nature of eating wings. Like you're going to look like you have like, dirty fingers.
I'm surprised that the first story that didn't come to your mind was in Guelph when you and I ate at Wimpy's.
Okay.
You don't remember this? You
No.
and I, so Mark and I were eating at this place called Wimpy's Diner in Guelph. And there was a man sitting at a different table really close to us, smoking,
Okay.
firstly. And while we were eating our meal, once our food came, he started going like this and started spitting on the sidewalk, like literally
Oh,
multiple
yeah.
times.
I remember that now. Yeah.
So that's the most salient sort of story in my mind of like eating etiquette. This guy's first of all smoking on the table. No waitress or waiter like was telling him like you can't smoke on the table here. And second, the spit takes while we were eating, bro. I wanted to puke.
Spit take isn't what you think it is. But
the spitting.
Spit take is like when someone makes you laugh and you're drinking
That's right.
something.
Yeah,
But what I was gonna say is that I've always felt like I've never been in a room other than that time that you've now mentioned. I've never been like out with people and I'm like, oh, that person's eating etiquette is like completely off the charts. Like it's horrible. I've always felt like I'm the weird one because of the wing situation. I feel like, or even if it's not wings, I always feel like in my head I'm like, oh, I'm the one who's not eating properly and I look gross. That's always how I think about it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for you to say it's because you do. But yeah, so I don't know. Maddie, what do you have to say about this topic?
Personally, I've never once felt like I didn't have proper etiquette in quotes when I'm eating, because
that's a problem. That means you're not self-reflective and you don't see your
That's right.
downfalls
with that
when you're
one
eating.
specific part of my life.
That's right.
No. I'm saying like you have a lot of like
Glaring
like
Oh,
issues
okay.
with your etiquette.
Like, I don't know. I guess there's like, if you wanted to get like really granular with it, like I put my elbows on the table
That is
sometimes.
so annoying.
Which I know
bro.
people are
I
like, don't
hate
do
when-
that or
I hate
whatever.
when you do that.
I have to train myself not to do it because it's just comfortable for me to have a resting
Exactly.
space. For me to have like this, I feel like I'm like I have to use like effort to like keep
Honestly,
my arms.
Imagine
propped.
eating a burger like this and not like. Oh, actually, I do eat a burger like this.
Oh, okay. Because to me, it's like holding my arms like this, just like the forearms.
Yeah, you eat your burger like this.
Well, I usually
Your plate is like 10 meters in front of you.
No. But like when I'm just hanging out, I find myself at a dinner table like this, or like just like how I am now with elbows on
Yes.
the table. And then I'm like, oh shit, I shouldn't have my elbows on the table. And then when I start eating, I'll kind of usually just like float. I'll like have my thing. Like I'm not gonna be like resting when I'm eating.
But I'm not like particularly like messy when I'm eating, or like I'm not sitting there like chewing with my like fucking mouth wide open. Like
that's like crazy stuff.
so it's like I feel like I've never worried about myself and been like, oh God, like I hope my etiquette is okay. Like I've never
I have
had
one.
that thought.
Another one for me is like eating too quickly. I think I eat too quickly, and I think that's like an etiquette problem.
That
apparently.
to me depends on the situation. If I was on like a date, like if Varsh and I, when we were
Yes.
first kind of like going out and stuff, if her and I went to
It's
eat,
like heavy pace.
now she makes fun of me because I eat way quicker. Here's the thing though. My family my entire life has told me I eat slow as shit.
Oh,
and I think they're
interesting.
right. And somehow Varsha's even slower than that. Because whenever her and I go out to eat, I'm always done like well before she is. But like when we were first kind of like going on dates and stuff, it was a thing where I was like, I'm going to match your pace kind of thing so that we're eating like
And then
together.
your food got cold, and then you didn't enjoy it anymore.
No. But it was just a thing of like,
Covering his ass.
it depends on the situation where it's like if we're at a bar, for example, if I'm faster or slower than you guys, like I could give less of a fuck. Where I'm like, what do I care? Like
Sure.
it's just so to me, even that depends on the situation. Let's
That's
say.
fair. But I think there's a general rule of thumb before we move on like,
Yeah.
to whatever. To me, there's a rule of thumb of like part of proper etiquette is eating at like a at a decent pace, and it's kind of like a dignified thing of just like you're taking your time, and through taking your time, you're not like breathing heavy and eating quick, and like it looks more sloppy.
Honestly,
when you eat
screw the
quick.
1%.
So to me, it's like
I don't want to be part of that.
Oh my God.
Yes, I think I eat way
Shout
too
out.
quick. I think I eat way too quickly all the time, and even my parents would be like, "Slow down, like it's not going anywhere." Like you're,
Yeah.
and then at some point after I'm done eating, I'm like, or maybe let's say I'm 75% done eating, I go like, like I'm fucking like, because I went at a
75% of the time when you're done eating, you go.
no, that's not what I said. I said 75% in in the process of eating. Like I'm saying like
Still, the fact that you have to go.
no, at the 3/4 mark of the dinner, if I'm eating like a big thing, I'll be like, whew, like I'm fucking like I'm eating quick, bro.
Are you kidding?
I'm eating quick, dude. Yes. What?
Like you're breaking a sweat. Like
No, not like that intense. I'm just saying like I have to do like okay, now reset and go back in.
he has to recalibrate.
So my
He gets to
That's
like a
wacky,
safe point.
bro.
that's not that wacky.
that
What are
is
you
wacky.
talking about?
That's insanely
No, it is
wacky.
not.
He gets to like a
That you need
safe
to take
point.
a second and like, okay, now I'm good to keep going. Kind of
I
thing.
just take it because sometimes I eat too quickly and I'm not like breathing at a normal pace. I'm just kind of like excited, whatever.
That was like you sounded like one of those like TikTok NPC people where they're like
yum,
yum, excited.
Yeah. Delicious, yum. Yeah, so to me it's like I feel like my parents would be like just fucking go slower then. Like if you're just like if I'm overwhelming myself with just too much food.
Well, I mean, if it gets to the point where you need to physically stop, or you
Bro,
will
I don't
have
need-
something
I don't-
bad happen to you, then
Right.
yes.
I don't need to. It helps to take a second and just reset. It's not like I'm gonna pass out if I don't stop.
This reminds me of the season of It's Always Sunny where Mac was fat. And there's
Okay.
one clip where he's like sitting there and he's just like wolfing down. I don't know if it's like quesadillas or something, but he's just sitting there like wolfing it down. And Charlie and Dennis are watching him, and it's just there's no sound except for Mac eating, and he's just and he's just like dry heaving whatever like while he's like eating and just breathing heavily. And they're like looking at him, and I forget what the like punchline of it is, but they're just like, "Are you okay? Like slow down. Like why are you like heaving while you eat? Like you don't have to eat that fast."
Yeah.
In terms of other people's etiquette.
Yeah.
I feel like generally if people are doing things, either I'm just not paying attention or it's like minor enough that it doesn't stick out kind of thing.
I want to shift gears, by the way.
There was one thing in recent memory over the long weekend when Varsh and I went up north. We were at this pizza place.
Where'd you go up north?
Barry. Cool. That extra bit of information, what did that do for you?
it did nothing for me, and I think it was actually a waste of time as well.
Do you think us talking about this being a waste of time is a waste of time?
You just go on with your story.
Anyways, we were at this like pizza place that was really good. I forget what it was called. And And there was
Geno's.
and there was this family there with like not a baby, but it was like a young, like toddler or whatever.
Toddler.
And it was just annoying. I was annoyed at this family, what they were letting the kid get away with and doing with the kid. And I felt bad for our waitress, who was their waitress too, and just like her getting like visibly more and more annoyed. Because at one point they were just letting her like walk on the table, like barefoot. And I was like, what are you doing? And then they had these sort of like dangling lights that she was like reaching up with and like grabbing and
they weren't saying anything.
And they weren't saying anything. And it's like the waitress came over one time. It was like, don't let her touch the lights. And then came over another time and was like, manager says it's not safe. She's not allowed to be. Because it also wasn't like a table like this. It was like it was a higher table on like higher chairs. So if she bailed, like that was a good 3-4 foot drop down. So like that would have done some damage. And then at one point, I don't entirely blame the mom in this situation for what she did. I think she still did the wrong thing, but like assuming she's telling the truth, I understood what she was getting at. But like I guess she wanted to change the kid's diaper, and she went to the bathroom with the kid, but then came out and just picked an empty table and started like changing her kid at like the booth at that table.
Wait, can you pause for a second? How the fuck could you ever make an argument in support of the mother?
The only thing I get is because the waitress came up and like started giving her shit. Was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, you can't be doing."
Yeah,
this.
you can't be doing that
And the mom's
shit.
only thing was like the bathroom was apparently like dirty, and she didn't want to do it there. So I get not wanting to do it in the bathroom, but then it's like,
do it in the fucking
go
car.
outside. Yes, go to your car and do it out there instead of doing it like
That's disgusting.
where people are eating and shit. Like,
there's literally no.
There's no excuse.
argument.
There's no argument for you to be like,
Her idea-
it's okay for me to go
no,
in an open
I'm not
restaurant and put it on a
I'm
table.
not defending that at all. I'm just saying I understand the like not wanting to use the bathroom, but to me it's like it doesn't make it any more acceptable.
I don't understand the not using the bathroom. How dirty was it that she didn't feel? Don't usually like when people change their kids' diapers, they have like, you bring like a cloth or like a baby pad thing like to put your baby on. You don't put it on whatever raw surface is there. Like no one does that.
Maybe I don't.
They
know.
have different places have like a
station.
Yeah, station that's like like this like gray looking
Yes.
like hard thing. You pull it down like. And it's like cleaned often by like service workers.
All I'm
or whatever,
saying is
like,
I get the mom being like, I'm not going to use the bathroom.
I don't get that because that's not her being prepared. Her, I think I'm not a parent, but I know that the general idea is that
you know of.
I know that the general idea is that there's something put in place for that, and it's cleaned regularly. Or if it's not clean, like most people have some sort of thing for their.
But
baby.
to me, it's just like I get the idea of like bathroom's dirty. I don't want to go here. Sure, fine. But to then be like, I'm going to do it in public view in this restaurant, to me was like, what are you doing?
You know what's a dream of mine? Cutting into a steak, the fork's midway, about to go in my mouth, and I turn and I see a big baby turd.
literally fecal matter right
fecal
beside
matter
you.
right beside me.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't like close to anybody. They were like away and isolated.
It feels like you're defending them.
I'm
it
just
feels
painting.
like
I
you
want to paint. I want to give the facts, just the facts, no cap. Like it was, no dip. It was like they were isolated and like away.
I don't think anyone says that.
They were away from people. But I'm trying to make no dip a thing. They were away from people, but it was still just like way out of line. And then I felt bad for our poor waitress because like that was like the third thing she had to go tell this family. And then you could also tell the family, it was one of those things where it's like the family was starting to get annoyed at her and be like, why is she giving us all this shit? And blah, 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 blah. It's like, because you're idiots.
Yeah.
But anyways, restaurant etiquette. You said you had something
one more
else to
thing
steer.
I'll throw out before you say.
I want to move on.
Super quick.
Okay.
I farted. The quick thing I was gonna say is like volume level. I think it depends on where you are, but
Yes.
volume level is an etiquette thing too. If you're in a quiet restaurant, like a nice fancier restaurant,
Then shut up.
and if people like talking loud as hell, everyone can hear their conversation. Like tables further down the section can still hear it. It's like, don't do that. If it's like a bar restaurant or like a kind of family restaurant and like people are just everyone's loud, that's
Yeah,
fine.
then
Be
do
as loud
whatever
as
you
you want. But like, yeah, don't bother people with like super loud conversation in a quiet area. But go ahead.
May I?
I was quick.
Okay. So I don't know if this frames into
All right. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
I don't know if this frames into the etiquette. Like I don't know what word to describe this, but like there's twofold questions I want to ask.
Okay.
Treatment of like the service worker
Okay.
and like sending back food.
That's etiquette. I think that's restaurant going etiquette. for
Okay,
sure.
so is it okay? So do you guys think it's okay to send back food?
I think it's okay to send back food if the food is either like absolutely incorrectly cooked. For example, like if you ask for like medium rare and they give you like a burnt, like well done steak, that there's easy like I wouldn't have a problem with.
There are people who will muscle that. They'll just take it. They
I know
absolutely.
there are people
against.
that I know that there are people that do that. I think Maddie's one of those people for sure. I think if you ordered medium
if
rare,
you order
and
medium
it was
rare,
like,
they give you well done,
you'd be like, fuck it, whatever.
You wouldn't be like, hey, this is well done. What's going on?
It would
if it's
depend more
expensive as
like
shit.
Yeah, if it's expensive, but B, if I ate it and was like still happy with it, I'd be like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But like,
But a lot of people will be like, I don't care if it's good still or not. Like, it's not what I ordered. And that was kind of a situation. Remember that you guys had that argument about like the Uber Eats
the
thing?
whole Uber Eats thing.
Yeah. So just to
It's
fill you
straight
guys
up,
in.
that's not what I wanted.
Just to fill you guys
straight
in.
up, not what I
Yeah.
wanted. No, let's not go to that.
No, real quick. I'm not going to incriminate anybody.
There's no
happened.
incriminating, but it's just a little off topic, is all.
Yeah,
It's
but people are gonna be like, oh, what was that random reference?
This is good. We can. Okay.
Okay, fine. Okay, so basically, Patrick ordered something on Uber Eats, and he received more food than he ordered, but it was all wrong. Like, it wasn't what he ordered. So Maddie was of the mindset that like you should be happy, you got extra food. He ordered A&W, so it's like Patrick likes A&W, so it's like, oh, it's not a big deal. Enjoy the food. You got more. You got lucky. And Patrick was like, no, I'm gonna like put in a complaint on Uber Eats to be like it's the wrong order, so that they can like refund me or send me the right order or whatever. And Maddie was like, yeah, but like, I don't know. It was like an argument of like, oh, should you have like filed the thing, or should you have been like happy with the fact
I
that you
just
got
want
more
to state
food?
for the record, I don't think that's true that Patrick didn't get anything he wanted. I think he
Oh,
got
is it?
some of what he wanted,
Oh, I
not
see,
all of
okay.
it, some of what he wanted, and bonus shit.
That particular order was a different order, Matthew.
You're
It was
telling me there
literally
was not
Mama
one thing
Burgers.
in there that you
I'm
wanted?
never gonna forget the situation. It was literally Mama Burgers, and
heated.
I remember the drink was something it was root beer. I hate root beer, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't drink the drink.
I think
it was like onion rings and shit.
I'm not gonna get into this whole thing again.
But to get back on track, what were you saying? Just a sec, you were gonna say something.
You're
About
the one that
sending-
wanted to sidetrack.
I'm sorry.
About sending food back and like
Yes.
treating
Yeah.
wait staff, that to me is a different. That's not. I mean, I guess it literally is
But-
restaurant etiquette, but that to me just comes down to like, are you a like asshole?
No, but I
or
want
not?
to.
With regards to sending food back?
No, but I want to come back to the sending.
Well, it depends.
I want to get back to the sending the food back thing because
Okay.
to me it's like, if I was a server, and the way I see it is that if it's cooked absolutely wrong, then you have every reason to send it back in a respectful way. Be like, oh, I actually ordered it this and it came that. Like, could I get it cooked this? And it's like, okay, fair. And I wouldn't, depending on how you said it, there's no problem with that idea, and you can do that. I think the problem becomes, I think it's not good etiquette when you start to be insanely picky. Like if you're like, it's slightly over salty, or it's slightly under salty, or it's slightly this, slightly that. It's like you're gonna make them redo the whole thing or whatever, just because it's a little bit this or a little bit that. If it's completely wrong, for example, like it's the wrong order, obviously. If it's cooked wrong, I think that's fair. And in terms of like treating the wait staff, I feel like just be a nice person, and like that's not something that to me has like that much nuance. Just like be respectful generally.
Like Mark was saying, am of the mind where it's like, I think there's a plethora of totally fair reasons why you would send back food. To me, it's just
So
like,
would you ever send back food?
would I personally? Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
If I was at a fucking restaurant and I'm like, hey, can I get the pasta? And they bring like fucking
Oh, sure.
a shrimp dish, like I'd be
What
like,
if there was a hair in your food?
That to me depends on the
I've
it
heard
depends on the
this-
size of the hair. To
Yeah,
be
I was gonna
honest.
say this conversation I remember hearing once, and it depends on the hair.
If it's a long hair that goes through the whole plate, I'm gonna like. There's a whole hair. If there's like a tiny little prick thing, I'm like, if there's a little
Yeah, if
tiny
it's
hair,
like
I'm
an eyelash,
fuck it.
I'm like, whatever, I don't
Yeah.
care.
What if it's 3 eyelashes?
that's too much. 3? How did that even happen?
Three small.
3 small hairs is a little bit too much. I think also when it comes to like the actual treatment, I was thinking like when it comes to the treatment of the staff and stuff, I feel like now that I think about it, there's like a way to be, aside from like being super rude, obviously, I think there's like a dismissiveness that you could have with the wait staff that's like also poor etiquette. For
Yes.
example, like being like, oh yeah, thanks, like being very like not looking at them when they're talking to you, or not like being like a gracious guest, I guess, just being like, oh, like you're the wait staff, like you're low level people, like serve me type shit. Like, oh, like you forgot this, like can you like talking to them as if they're like low.
Yeah,
I think that's definitely something that's etiquette.
that's such a like pet peeve for me, or like an ick, as the kids call it. I don't know if
That's
I'm
like a-
using
Oh,
that.
that's
Right.
a good ick.
That's
Yeah.
like,
But,
that's
like-
like one of the that's like one of the most universal ones is like how people treat.
Yeah, of just like,
Hold on, I
are
write this
you
down.
what?
You can keep going. I just
But
need to
is
write
it
this
an
down.
ick? Because isn't the point of an ick that it's like a little what's the word? Like illogical?
Yeah, I think the ick is more like we said. It was more like a unique, something that wouldn't be typically.
Yeah,
it's like a
I
very
feel
like
like being
special,
a
unique thing.
dick to wait staff is a pretty typical.
Yeah,
thing
I
to
think
be,
that's
like,
I think that's more
annoyed
I
at.
think that's more of a red flag than an ick.
Sure. Yeah, that would be a good descriptor. Where it is a red
An ick
flag.
is
for
an
me.
ick is like, oh, like the way he ran was kind of weird, and that's it.
Yeah, that's a.
It's like a very weird like.
Can I show you, Nick?
Please
Hold
Sure.
on. Keep riffing.
But yeah, so I don't know, where it's just like in terms of etiquette, how you are with wait staff and like all that, and again the whole like sending food back. Again, I think there's a million examples of totally justifiable reasons why you would send food back, but
Sure.
it's just like if I were doing it, it would be like, hey, like, you know, not to be a pain in the ass or whatever, blah 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 blah, but like the order's wrong or like this isn't here or like any number of reasons.
Sure.
That like to me it's just like it's literally as simple an example as like
Sorry.
if I'm at like McDonald's and I got like a drink and didn't get a straw, like to me the right way of like, oh hey, like sorry I just didn't get a straw, can I get a straw kind of thing? And they're like, yeah sure, no problem. Whereas like I've seen the people that are like,
There's no straw.
hey I didn't get a fucking straw man or whatever, and then they're like all
This I completely understand as an ick. You gotta throw this up, okay?
new it. I have to throw it up.
You have to throw it up, yeah, so
You're
the
gonna
audience can
send
see.
me a link or something.
Is that a guy?
It's a guy.
Oh yeah, that's horrible.
That's an ick.
Okay,
I understand this one completely.
For once, I kind of
no.
understand.
That is so. That's crazy.
Sure. You
You
have
know-
to like
I'll
send me
send that
that.
to
You know
Yeah.
what's one for me? I think a little bit when like if a girl has like is like this, like she has this kind of have you seen people do this?
No.
Patrick, have you seen this? Where like if a girl has like a bag on her, like kind of like I've seen girls that have like this
No.
kind of very like bent like I've seen people have this like this kind of hand thing.
I've never seen that.
Like they'll kind of like be like they'll have like their purse on their arm
Sure.
and I'll be like kind of like walking around like this, like looking at stuff. Like they'll be like walking like
I
that.
kind of get what you're saying,
I don't
but
like
I'm
the way it
not. I'm
looks.
not all the way sold. But anyways, so your wait staff etiquette sending food back.
So wait, what did we end up on? Like we can send food back?
I think there's a bunch of justifiable reasons for sending food back.
Unless
I
you're
just
being
think
a
it's-
picky asshole, basically.
Sure. I just think it's all in
So where's
how
the
you
line
handle it.
then?
The line again to me is like if it's something that's like glaring. I think if it's something that's very subtle, it's like
When does it become like subtle though?
well that's a personal thing, but to me it's like if it's like way over salty, like it's like punch you in the mouth salty. Like if it's clear,
Mhm.
if it's kind of like
What if
hmm,
what? Okay.
if you think to yourself, here's what I think the line is.
Okay.
You ask yourself, is this barely noticeable? Is it subtle for me, or is this like glaring for me?
Mhm.
If
Okay.
it's
What?
glaring for you, then
What if it's soda? You order soda, but
Sure.
it's like flat. There's no fizz whatsoever.
But again, these are all different things. Where in that, I'm not sending the whole meal back. I'm just
No,
like,
not the
hey,
meal, like,
can I
just
get
you
like?
want a
I'm
next
just like,
drink
hey, can I
on
get
the
another
house.
soda
Can I get another soda
on the house? Can I get another soda? Yeah, like I would,
double
I don't-
time.
I don't think there's anything wrong with being like,
Can I
hey,
get a-
like.
I need a next main double time.
I don't think there's anything wrong with being like, oh, I need another like.
Okay.
To me,
So
again,
if the soda's flat, you can like ask for
Sure.
a next soda.
because it's like that's not.
What if it's
you're-
flat twice in a row though?
Then at that point, I would be like, hey, I need another one, and also you might want to like look at your sodas because there might be something wrong with them.
Oh, I have another etiquette thing, by the way.
Okay.
I feel like like Vanya and I went to a restaurant recently. I think we went to the my favorite Italian place,
Okay.
and there was like a couple of people at a different table, like adjacent to us or whatever, and they were like, they were doing this thing where they were kind of like, I guess, talking shit about other people or something. Like I think they were like looking at other customers and being like, oh, this. I feel like that's an etiquette thing of like being like outwardly out kind of like being like judgy assholes basically to like other people in the area, I guess.
Is
I
that
don't
an
think it's
etiquette thing or like a person thing?
It's probably a person thing, but I think like in terms of restaurant etiquette, like
Yeah.
not like keeping to yourself and not like judging other people's shit unless it's like like the baby thing, for example. then I would blame them. I would think it's weird if they didn't talk about it.
Varsha and I were definitely sitting there looking
Yeah.
at that family with the baby. Like, are you serious? Like, what
for
the
sure.
hell's going
no,
on?
Yeah.
that's like I think everyone should do that for sure.
Yeah.
Everyone should. do
Everyone
that.
should.
Shame
Everyone
them.
should shame them.
Shame.
So she knows never to change her baby on a booth in a restaurant.
No one should
ever
have to tell
again.
her that though.
Leaves a poop stain on the fucking
Well,
table.
I don't think that happened, but
Okay, Patrick, continue.
go on.
I think that's the end of my topic.
That's it.
Well,
I kind of wanted to get to like the sending food back quicker though. I feel like we kind of like got lost a little bit in the.
I think we hit it though.
Do you think Mark's dilly-dallying helped?
Your dilly dallying didn't help whatsoever.
I think
Just let me take charge of my topic.
Yeah, but I think we hit the like in terms of like the topic of sending food back. I think we covered it. I don't think. there's
Yeah,
anything
we
missing.
did. Yeah.
So if you're gonna send your food back,
But none
Just
of
be
you
nice.
have ever sent your food back though.
I've never sent my food back because I've never been in a situation where I'm like,
I've never had to.
You know when I should have sent my food back
Hmm.
here we go.
at Boston Pizza.
Why?
And you
Oh, the pasta?
Why? You had the pasta, but I had the steak. The worst steak I've ever had in my entire life.
Why are you getting steak at
It's
Boston
literally
Pizza?
literally a 3 out of 10.
That's
This
quite
is,
meal.
See, this is another problem I have, and this gets back to an example that.
But
I'm
Matthew,
sure we're
I
familiar with.
understand. I understand like why get a steak at Boston Pizza, but it tasted like asshole.
Sure,
bro.
don't
are you
get me
talking
wrong.
about?
I
It
think
tasted
if
terrible.
you're at a restaurant and they're offering a food
How?
and you order it, and
You
it's-
had the pasta, and you like your pasta tasted like
No,
shit.
no, because the sauce wasn't really well matched with the actual dish. But I'm saying, like, for steak, like, I feel like it could be bland, it could be dry, but how could it taste like shit?
It tasted bad, bro.
How could it taste bad?
I'm just telling you what I experienced. I'm just telling you what my reality was.
Unless they put like weird spices on it that don't typically go on meat or something, I
Buddy.
don't see how it could taste horrible.
Bud.
I'm trying to get you to describe the taste. What does it taste like? I don't understand how it could taste
It
like
was
shit.
it was like I guess prominently like it was bitter.
Bitter.
Like a bitter taste. Yeah.
So what did they put on there? What could be bitter on there? That's weird. It's interesting.
maybe the meat itself. I don't know. But this is the thing. I think if you're a restaurant of whatever variety and you're gonna put something on the menu, you should be doing it
Decent.
decently. I get that. However, I do think there is a bit of like self-responsibility in the sense of like if you're going to Boston Pizza,
Yeah.
you can't expect barbarians level.
I understand that.
Like,
I understand that,
steak
but you
kind
can
of
understand my side of things. too.
Yes,
Okay.
that I understand, but like to make a show of it, let's say, is more the thing to me of like.
So if I said to them, listen, I don't even know how I would say it. If I got this 3 out of 10 steak and I was literally gagging, how could I say it? I would be
gagging.
I would be like, listen,
That would
I
literally
ordered
never
it-
happen. 3 out of 10 gagging? When would that ever happen?
we lived it, bro.
You were gagging.
We lived it.
You were
okay, maybe
gagging.
I'm being a little extreme in
Yes, you
gagging,
are.
but I was definitely feeling it in my stomach. But so the waitress would come or the waiter would come and be like, "Oh, it was Amanda. Amanda was our waitress."
That's right.
Was that the night we went to her?
Yeah, her Boston Pizza.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
That was that night.
I do remember stealing that brass mug.
You just incriminated yourself.
Sorry,
on
Boston
camera.
Pizza.
BP.
But yeah, I would just be like, "Listen, I ordered the steak.
Well, that's a
It's-
whole other scenario.
Like,
it
what
was
would I say?
somebody
Like,
we
what-
know.
Tell me. Okay, let's say it was someone we didn't know. Tell me if I'm an asshole or not. This is exactly
Go
what I
ahead,
would-
yep.
I think this is what I would say.
You go, hi, can I help you, sir?
Listen, I ordered the steak,
Mm-hmm.
and it like the taste is just like. Honestly, I feel like maybe the meat's bad, but it's just. I don't think I'll be able to finish this without puking.
Okay.
Can I order a different main, possibly?
Sure.
Let me be clear.
So if I say the puking thing, I feel like that's where I cross the line.
For sure.
Let me be clear. I also think, under the right circumstances, sending food back because whether you don't think the taste is good or it's objectively not good or like it wasn't what you want or like something like that, I think even that is a somewhat justifiable thing of being like, hey, I'm not really digging this or anything like that, blah,
about
blah,
how
blah.
you say it, though.
Like, I'd like to get something else. Even in that, I think it's totally fair to send back food. But again, there is nuance to this. If I ordered a steak and a fucking shrimp dish came or whatever, and it was like the complete wrong thing, and I sent it back kind of thing, I would expect that I'm only paying for the steak and that they fucked up on their end. To me, it's a thing of like, if I ordered a plate of pasta and then I ate it and like for whatever reason wasn't
You ate
digging
all
it,
of it, or you ate like a little?
no,
bit
like
of
I
it?
took a few bites. I was like, this tastes off to me or whatever, blah blah blah, and I'm sending it back. Maybe this is just a personal
You
thing.
should not have to. You should not have to pay for it.
But see,
Interesting.
if it's a thing where it's on me and they haven't fucked up anything, it's like a me
Well,
issue.
why would you send it back? If they
I
didn't
would,
fuck up, then?
but I would say to them of like, listen, this isn't like for whatever reason I don't like this or blah 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 whatever. I'd like to order something else. I personally would tell them like, bill me for both, because they haven't fucked anything up. I'm
But
the
it
one who's
depends.
like,
He's saying if you're like, oh, like I didn't like this as much as I thought I would.
Yeah, I guess it depends on.
Yeah.
Because to me, if it's like
that's what I'm saying. If I order something and it comes and it's like, raw, like it's fucking raw chicken or some
Yeah.
shit, like they've objectively fucked up, then I'm like, I want the other thing. I'm not paying
Yeah.
for this. But
To me-
I'm
to me-
saying if it's on me,
yeah,
I personally, just out of like, because I have a feeling that most places anyways would say, don't worry about it. Like, we'll just charge you for the one thing or like the second order or whatever. I think most places would just do that. But I just as like a good faith showing would be like, listen, you have done nothing wrong. It's just for whatever reason, I'm not digging this. Like, I'll order something else.
But I think
bill
that's-
me for both kind of
I
thing.
think that is fair when what you ordered like was the way it should be. Like for example,
Yes.
if you order steak and potatoes, cooked medium rare, and it comes like that, but for whatever reason you're just not feeling it.
Yes.
But it's cooked the way it should be cooked and it's
Yes.
advertised it, then I agree with you. But to me, if it's like something that you usually like and it's just like really something's off about it, I feel like you shouldn't pay for it if something's wrong with it.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. If
But
it
that's
is
where the discussion comes. Like,
Yeah.
is there something wrong with it, or
yes.
is it you?
If
or,
it's a me thing,
Again, I think it should
like,
be.
how do you know?
I think it should be again. To me, it goes down to like asking myself: is this a glaring problem with this dish, or is it a very subtle thing that I'm not liking? Like for
Yeah.
example, the seasoning, I feel like doesn't match that well. I'm not even gonna send it back at that point.
Yeah.
So the conversation of like sending it back and then like being like, oh, it's my fault though, whatever. Like to me, I would never even get to that point because I'd just be like stomach it. I'd be like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't love it that much, but whatever.
Here's a final interesting one.
Yeah.
Imagine, and I've actually lived this scenario. Imagine you order food with your friends, and the waitstaff brings the foods, but there's absolutely no cutlery at the table,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes them 30 minutes
Mm-hmm.
to bring cutlery to the table. Okay, let's say 20 minutes. 20
Okay.
minutes to bring cutlery to the table. What are you guys doing in that scenario? Because some people would be like,
well, I'm
okay,
not
like,
sending the food back.
some people would be like, oh, like it took way too, like our food's kind of cold now, like maybe like free,
Well,
like they would want to get something
just-
out of it. They
I'd-
want free drinks, a dessert, like.
Yeah, but I just
You-
get up and find cutlery or find a way. I would walk up to a waiter and be
But
like,
in
"Can I
this scenario, the waitress has come multiple times
Mhm.
and assured that cutlery's coming, but it took 20 minutes.
Yeah, but I wouldn't try to like get something out of them. I'd be like, okay, she's not coming back for some reason. I'm gonna get up and go talk to someone and be like, can I get a cutlery?
Again, it's a scenario where they're assuring you the cutlery's coming no matter who you talk to, but 20 minutes.
I don't care if they've assured it. If it's taking 20 minutes, I'm getting up at some point. I don't care if they've assured it. Like I'm gonna go find it.
I understand you. What I'm saying is you find someone and they're telling you right away and they don't bring it for 20 minutes. That's the scenario.
Oh, like I've already gotten up to talk
You've
to somebody?
gotten up.
Yeah, but at that
whatever.
point, they could just hand it to me. That would be a strange situation. I'd be like, it's right there. Just hey, give it to me.
Just indulge it, bro. Like, why are we?
Because I don't think it's a realistic. I don't think it's a
I've
realistic
lived it,
scenario.
bro. I'm telling you, I've lived
You
it.
walked up to somebody and said, "Can I please get cutlery?" And they said, "Sure."
And
I'm-
they're like, we're gonna bring cutlery.
I
to the
would
table.
be in Mark's camp of like, if it took long, like I wouldn't let it get to that point. But I get what you're saying. Where if I'm in a scenario for whatever reason the cutlery takes that long to come, I would like again. It's not like I'm gonna like send food back, but I would at the very least be like mentioning it of like, hey, like what's up kind of thing. Like, if it's like we're backed up or busy or XYZ, like if there's a good enough reason, then maybe. But if it is a thing where it's just like
Yeah.
they
I feel
fucked
like
up or whatever, then I don't know. But again, I feel like most places in like that situation would say to you like,
that's what I was gonna say.
hey, your drinks are on the house or
That's
some
what
shit
I was gonna
like
say.
that.
Like, it's kind of ballsy to like
Hmm.
expect
Sure.
something.
Yeah.
But, I think
I
most
never-
places will like be like, okay, we're gonna get you, because that's what they did for us. We didn't ask for anything, but they were
Yeah.
like, yeah, we're gonna get you an extra round of drinks
Sure.
and like dessert free.
I honestly think it all comes down to like the whole etiquette thing comes down to the type of person you are. Like to me, even if things don't, I think I'm relatively reasonable with it. But I know there's some people who are like, I'm gonna get what I can get out of the situation. I'm gonna take advantage.
Yes,
And then there are other people who are like,
the parasites.
and then there are other people on the complete opposite end of the spectrum of like, it is what it is. I'll deal with it. And then there's someone in the middle who's like, it depends on the situation. Like I probably will deal with it, or if it's like egregious, then I will have to say something about it. And to me, I find myself in the middle of like, it really has to be. I've never had to send something back or talk to somebody or something. And to me, it would have to be like again, like glaring and like obvious that something's like messed up. But yeah, so like I find myself in that camp. But I know some people like they just live of their perspective in life is that like I'm gonna try to get as much as I can. And I think it just to me it's like I think that mindset translates to poor etiquette. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm very like laissez-faire and kind of like live and let live, and it is whatever.
What
but
does
there is-
laissez-faire mean?
I don't know the literal translation, but I know it's like
Whoa, why do you
would
say
be,
it?
like, laid back and like more like easygoing and
Okay,
shit.
go on.
And what I'm saying is like there is like a breaking point though, but that's my thing where it's like I don't expect anything. In the example of like they did nothing wrong with the food, I'm just not digging it. I'm not expecting them to say like don't pay for this, pay for the second thing you want.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying like I would be more like forward of like listen, like I'll pay for both kind of thing because you guys haven't done anything wrong. And if they are like, no, don't worry about it, blah, blah, blah. I appreciate
So
the
if you're
gesture,
balling like that, why don't you cover my lunch sometimes? Like,
because that's
I don't get it.
ridiculous.
Honestly,
and
to
not comparable at all.
To me, I get what you're saying, but to me, I wouldn't go so far as to say like, oh, I'll pay for it or whatever. I'll just be like, whatever, however they want to handle it, it's up to them. But also depends on the situation. Like, if it's the thing of like me ordering something, eating a little bit of it, and then being like, I shouldn't have ordered this, then to me it's like, if they made me pay for it, I'd be like, yeah, that's fair. But I wouldn't be like, can I please pay for it or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying?
I
So
guess.
I'm not gonna try to like. I'm gonna try to take advantage of being like I'm not paying for it though. I'm not gonna be like that, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, can I pay for it?
What if it was the scenario where you felt like there was something wrong with the dish?
Yeah.
You sent it back, got a next one, and they charge you for both. Would you like be like, hey, like I'm not paying for
Well, what
this
was wrong
one?
with the first one? It depends
Take
on what was
your
wrong with it. Again,
burnt,
it comes
slightly burnt,
slightly burnt, and you sent it back.
slightly burnt. You sent it back.
I don't think it's.
I'm probably not sending it back.
Yeah, if
Let's
it's
say
like
you
that.
did.
Exactly.
Let's say you did.
No.
But you wouldn't, and that's the whole point.
This I can't indulge.
It's not a realistic situation.
Half burnt.
If it's like.
But again, at that point, then they fucked up.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and then what if they try and charge you for both?
Then that's unfair.
Then to me, that would be a conversation of like,
Hey, my food was like straight up burnt. So
it's not on, it's not on me. You
Yeah.
guys fucked up. So I asked
God,
for
I,
something.
wa-
And
I
again,
want us. I want us to be in one of these situations.
But
I just want to see this go
I
down.
don't think you're ever gonna see it because I think most restaurants are reasonable enough to be like, oh, we burnt the food, we're not gonna charge them.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But-
Also, they don't want customers are most of the time assholes. A lot of the time. So I think a lot of restaurants are gonna be like, we don't even want a problem here. Like,
Yeah.
even if we straight up didn't do much wrong, like they're gonna complain.
the
they're gonna
customer's
do-
always right.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's to Mark's point about the people that are like trying to like fucking skis their way through
Game the
everything and like
system, no
game
matter
every
what.
system. That to me is like I feel like most places would just try to avoid that of like, hey, don't worry about the food or like, oh, your drinks are on the house or like whatever the fuck. Like I feel like most places would just do that like purely to just avoid
Problems.
like problems of any
And
kind.
I know that person working in retail being like they're trying no matter what to like squeeze some sort of discount because there's a little tiny little thing you can barely see on the shoe or whatever. It's like it makes me feel almost like sad about humanity. Like why are we so desperate to just anything we can just to squeeze out of it? It's like just live, bro.
I have no problem in like some general ways with people like gaming the system in quotes or
Okay.
like when things work out. Like for example, that big ass Silver Surfer omnibus I bought myself on Amazon a while ago was like $120, and it was like this thing that I kind of wanted for a while, and I bought it.
And
Blah, blah, blah,
they charged you the
whatever.
wrong amount?
No, they sent me a refund because they were like, "Oh, your order never came," even
And
though
they
it was like
come.
sitting in my fucking hands, and they're like, "Oh, your order never came. Here's your $120 back." It's like I didn't fucking write Amazon back and be like, "No, it did come."
Hey,
like
multi-billion-dollar company.
take my $120. Like that is an example where I'm like,
sweet.
there's really no harm, no foul. Like I don't.
But if you're
mind
taking
that
advantage of an
gaming the
individual
system.
or something.
But yeah, when it is the type of shit of people trying to like, game shit like the like restaurant thing of like, oh, my food came like
cold.
slightly like there
little
was
bit
one
cold.
thing I didn't like about it or this or that or whatever. Or like I'm trying to like like get a deal out of anything
But the
here.
temperature
like
was off. Or,
yeah,
I don't
like
know.
or just like to me it's
36 degrees, not 37
it's
degrees.
the like people who get into like a fender bender and then get out of their car and they're like, oh, my neck, like I've got whiplash and I'm like fucked up, and it's like just so they can like sue and be an asshole. Like I don't.
makes you like pessimistic about humanity sometimes.
It does because I just don't have that like innate sense of like let me take advantage of like people around me and like game everything I can for every fucking penny.
The
Like,
way I think about it is like stick up for yourself.
yes,
Be like, don't let yourself get stepped over, and like when it makes sense, like pick your battles type thing.
yes,
But don't use like the rule of thumb of like no matter what I'm gonna try to get something out of this, and also don't use the rule of like no matter what I'm just gonna let it happen. Like you should like stand up for yourself, but like use context and like use common sense.
because it's like I'm the kind of person, for example, where it's like if I'm going through the drive-through at some place. And 99% of the time, I'm just paying with like my debit card. But if I have like cash on me, for example,
Sure.
and it's like your order's $5 and like 85 cents or whatever, and I hand them like $6, the amount of times I'm just like, I don't need the fucking 15 cents.
You don't want to
like,
hold on to it. Yeah.
yeah, like it's not worth making you rifle through this fucking register
Buy yourself
or whatever.
something
And,
nice.
like, buy yourself, keep the change.
Yeah.
Like it's purely just a like such a little like I don't care whatever kind of thing. Whereas then like there's people on the other hand who would be like
Where's my 15 cents?
where's my 15 cents kind of thing, or like it's 11 cents or some shit, and they would get like a dime back and be like, well, you're screwing me technically by the cent, like give me the nickel kind of
Again,
thing.
I've had people buy something and it's 20% off because it's in our clearance section. So it's additional 20% off on top of the sale price. And they say there's like, oh, but there's a little tiny mark here, and I have to like use a magnifying glass to see it. It's so hard to see. And they'll be like, oh, like 25 and I'm like 25 and I'll take it. And I'm like, this isn't a family-owned business where I can like barter with people. Like, this is the rule. I'm gonna get in trouble if I just put random numbers or I increase the thing. So to me, it's like, and the 20 to 25 jump, you're literally saving $2, and it's like, you're gonna give me this much grief, and you're gonna have me call the manager over. I've had this, like, oh, can you please ask your manager? And I have to call my manager over. Then he has to tell them the same exact thing that I just said. It's additional 20. We can't do anything else, whatever. And like, sometimes people will push for so long that my manager just gives in at some point. They'll just be like one guy came in, he bought a pair of shoes. They were like on sale, and I guess they were like, all of our shoes are on the floor, right? They're not. It's not like a Foot Locker. We have to grab it from the back room. Like, we have some in the back room, extra stock, but like all the shoes are on the floor, so you can. Everyone has the opportunity to try everything on. So there was a pair of shoes that this guy bought from the floor, and he took them home. Whatever. Weeks later, he comes back, walking into the store like wearing them. Like he's been wearing them out, and they look dirty, like they've been worn out for a while. And he tries to return them because he said that once he bought them, it wasn't a couple weeks. It was like a few days or a week or something. He's like, I bought them like recently. And like, look, they're all like wrinkled and this, like when I bought them, they were like all wrinkled. And I was like, oh, okay. And my boss came in, he's like, we can't take back shoes that have been worn outside. Like, we just can't do anything with that. And the guy was arguing for so long, and his girlfriend or his wife or whatever looked so scared and uncomfortable. She was like kind of quiet and like in the corner. And he was just like still pushing and arguing. After some point, my boss was like, took the shoes back and gave him a new pair for free, and that was that. And like, some people like that, I'm like, you're an asshole because, like, yeah, you got what you want, but like, at what cost? Like, you bothered all these people, you made your partner uncomfortable and like weirded out and like annoyed, and like you made everyone else frustrated. And it's like those kinds of people, it's like that's what bugs the hell out of me.
Yeah, I just don't get that, and like the whole like that people think there are like things where you can like
win,
barter and like haggle and shit. I'm like, it's not fucking Europe in the 1300s.
Sure,
like, what are you talking about? Like, we aren't still using bartering.
Or present day Egypt.
It'll be like, what's your best price? And I'm like,
present day Egypt at the bazaar.
Yeah.
It's like
my best price is literally what the company tells me I can do.
Like, when I'm at Comic-Con with my dad, sometimes if I'm like buying like, let's say 5 like books from a vendor, my dad will always like say to the guy, like, you know, if the 5 books are going to cost me like $100, for example, my dad will say to the guy, like, will you take 80? Will you take 90? Kind of. And like, more often than not, if my dad's like, will you take 80? They're like, nah, but I could do like 90, for example. And it's like, you're at like a trade show for all intents and purposes. Yeah. So it's like, sure, like, I understand the bartering.
It's all independent stuff.
But like, people walking into like businesses and shit, and Patrick and I deal with it in like sort of similar ways, like at our job, where it's like dealing with people trying to like argue about shit or like kind of like reason with us about things. And especially because Patrick and I are like, you know, we are the managers sometimes, when people are like, well, can you like ask somebody? And it's like, no, I am the manager and I'm telling you, like, no, kind of thing. And see, the difference is I am more stubborn, or like, even if people want to go on and on and on and complain about shit, specifically if it's like safety issues and stuff like that, I have no patience. Where it's like, I will sit and talk to you all day about this. Like, I'm not going to like give in and like let you do what you want kind of thing.
You're not going to have your like superficial win or whatever.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to like, I just get more stubborn and petty about it, where it's like, this isn't an example of life, where I'm like going to let something go. Cause I'm like, no, like, why?
You should stand your ground at that point.
Yeah, like, cause to me it's like, and the example I always want to like say to people is like, do you go to the movie theater and like tell them when to start the movie or something, or like any of that shit? Like, no. So why do you walk around other places expecting that you can like argue with people or like haggle about things? Like, it's just shut up and fucking do what you're told, or what the like guidelines are at this place or whatever, and stop being like, stop wasting everybody else's time about it.
I just think it all comes down to common sense. Like, if you're the customer in this situation and you are in fact being wronged in some way, they also have a right to stand up for themselves, just like the worker does. But like, it just depends.
And that gets back to the food thing with me. It's like, if I'm going to eat somewhere and they've done something wrong, my expectation is like, they're going to remedy it and take responsibility for it. Whereas if they've done nothing wrong and it's on my end, then it's like, I don't expect anything from you. If you're going to, like, if that guy had walked into your store and was like, I want to return these, and like didn't ask for like anything in return, and your fucking manager was like, sure, we'll take them, and you know what, for your trouble, here's a free pair, then to me it's like, that guy's done nothing wrong, because you guys as a business
but
just chose
he
to
was
do
like,
that.
I want to get a new pair.
But to come in and pull that shit of like, I want a new pair kind of thing or blah, blah, blah.
He literally went up and was like, this one looks better than the one I bought when I bought it. And my boss was like, yeah, but like all the shoes are here. Everyone could try them on. Like some will be a little bit more worn than others. Like we don't take returns from used shoes. Like none of these are used shoes. But they're used in the sense of like people can try them on here and walk around. I'm like, yeah. Anyway.
Ridiculous. Anyways. Etiquette.
Good stuff.
Food etiquette. Are you satisfied with this topic, Patrick? Are you happy?
Boom. Cut the episode right there. Cut the episode right there.
No goodbye?
Oh, yeah, we can do it. Goodbye.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for
We
watching
can recreate that last moment.
yet another episode
Okay.
of Wildly Adequate. Please like, share, subscribe. YouTube, Spotify. We're all over the place. Check out the socials, the Instagram, the TikTok, what have you.
Leave a comment.
Leave a comment.
Lemma,
Subscribe,
leave another
like.
comment on this video,
Oh my God,
please.
calling out a viewer. Does anybody have anything else they want to get off their chest before we wrap up?
I think
Oh, the blindfolds came in. Where are they? Where did I put
Blindfolds?
them? Yeah, I ordered blindfolds.
Oh, if we wanted to do like a blindfolded
yeah,
tasting thing.
But
whatever.
yeah, they're in.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what I wanted to get off my chest.
Okay.
I have nothing to say other than thanks for watching.
Oh, I'm not going to the gym.
Yeah, I was
You
gonna
wanna
say
know why?
I'm really tired.
Oh, you're on the
Like
same page. It's
9:30.
9:30, bro. We're not.
Yeah.
We're not
We can go get food though.
I have food
Yeah.
here.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I've been moving kind of still no trouble with me. Trying to keep it peaceful, there's a struggle for me. Don't pull up at 6 a.m. and cuddle with me. You know how I like it when you love it on me. I don't want to die for them to miss me. Guess I see the things that they wishing on me. Got a lot of brothers. They will tell the story, shit was different with me. God's
You need
plan.
to hit stop on the camera.
God's plan.
Oh no, wait, we're not stopping.
I hope it sometimes I won't. Someone washing their shit clothes. I've been me since Silent Road. Might go down to G.O.D. I don't know that need. But still, bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wish and they wish and they wishing on me. Bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wish and they wish and they wishing on me. She said, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mom. I'm sorry. I even got it tatted on me.
be upset
81,
if
don't
I
bring the
put this in
crushes
the
to the
episode?
party. And you know me. No.
Okay.
Turn the O2 into the O3, dog.
I think I'm gonna put this at the end.
Okay. No, I mean, Imagine if I never met the broskies. God's plan. God's plan.